Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah!
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome, PWT Universe, to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. Yeah. And it is blood and guts tonight, ladies and germs. It is blood and guts. War games before actual war games. And we're all here. We're gathered. We're going to watch it. It's on in about an hour, I believe. Right? A bit of a time change here. So I start my show an hour later than usual, right? And I still can't start on time. Ba-doom. Hey-o! Welcome. I'm Phil Marks. I said that part. This is another one of my goofy intros to my show, guys. Just check out all the stuff as you guys all file in. Hit like, hit subscribe, smash the likes, or Jericho's going to do a run-in as he normally does. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for being here. Some folks are telling me that like they're not getting notifications for my stuff. So I don't know. Do I got to like censor it more? Right? I don't know if maybe some of my clips are a little too cussy in them, but I think I clean them up pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. Everything looks fine and seems to be fully functional on my end. So if you're not getting notifications for my stuff, I don't know. I guess I'll hit up YouTube and see what's going on. But otherwise, things are great. Things are awesome. And I'm excited for Blood and Guts. I'm excited to see what the women are going to do. More so than the men's here. So that is tonight, right? I'm not this isn't the wrong day. Yeah, Blood and Guts. We're here. I have Tony Khan's Twitter pulled up because we're on Tony Khan Vote. Okay, where he might pop up live before AEW Dynamite goes down. So we're on Tony Khan Vote. and I'll just keep refreshing that time and again so we can get some Tony Khan cringe. But first and foremost, we just have some news to get into as far as everything, and I want to start off with AEW news, so we're all caught up on everything before Blood and Guts goes down, right? There's been a lot of talk. I mean, I didn't even quite know what to title this. Blood and Guts, definitely not titling it that for algorithmical and YouTube purposes. Tony Khan misses Shaq. It's cute and funny. Hangman Page is cringe because he is. Okay. Jim Cornette fact checks TMZ because he did. AEW Blood and Guts is on, but again, hesitant to put that in the title, so I didn't. And then what else, man? Jericho said TNA is number 2. Or, he said TNA looked like number 2. Now, I could have put that in the title for this, but whatever. That's going to be the clip title. You guys already know. You guys understand the game. Guts and Blood. Yeah, maybe that works a little bit better. But yeah, guys, just hit like, hit subscribe. What am I, Phil the Shilling here? So I couldn't get on with Husey and Sean Oliver and Shuley. I think they're on at the same time as us. Sorry. I'm not going to not do my show. And I had to fucking... It was a good opportunity, but I'm just like, do I move stuff around? It's also Blood and Guts. It was just not, I got to bring you guys the weekly PWT live, it is what it is. So shout out Husey, and I'm supposed to be on over there. And yeah, maybe we'll like live EFAP that in a minute or something and just check them out or whatever. Okay. Let's Big Bang's on. Okay, cutesy little show. Let's get into some AEW news, I think, to set things off. We're just going to jump into things. We're going to try and give the Blood and Guts matches their dues. I mean, I could see this show. I think there's only 3 matches announced, actually. Let's look in the bookmarks here. Bookmarks. We have quite a bit of AEW stuff to get to. I swear I bookmarked it. Maybe I need to refresh that. But good thing Tony McCann has us covered, right? Because we're on Tony Woach. Around when you're switching tabs, the audio shits around. Sorry about that. So it should be good, and not that we really need audio from this tab, but yeah, there is Hangman Page, Powerhouse Hobbs, Falls Count Anywhere for the title, or what? It's just a trios champ versus the world champ in a non-title, I guess. And then we have the Blood and Guts women and the Blood and Guts men. So look for both of those Blood and Guts matches to run for a minute, like those will be the lengthier matches of the evening for sure. We'll share that. Okay, good. I hit mute. Yeah, no, it's just when you guys can hear me, right? Don Stevens already. Yeah, just let me know. If I think you guys can. My mic is picking up. It's just, yeah, when you switch in tabs, you lose audio and shit sometimes. Okay, so we're on Tony Khan Watch. I have that pulled up here, and let's get into some AEW news because there's not much to talk about. I guess we could go through each competitor, like Mercedes Moné, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, Triangle of Madness. Okay, that's awesome, I guess. Chris Statlander, Tony Storm, Willow, Mina, Jamie Hayter, and Harley Cameron. I mean, obviously the heels are going to win this shit. Right, obviously Monet and them are going to win. So Falls Count Anywhere, I'm assuming Hangman will beat Hobbs because Tony will never give Hobbs a push, and why would he knock off their world champion all of a sudden? And Death Riders against the Conglomerate or whatever. I mean, you could not make people less interested in a fucking War Games match than seeing the Death Riders and Allen and Briscoe and Cassidy, I mean, rather. Briscoe's cool. Strong, O'Reilly. I mean, it's like three of the guys okay, you know, and then I'm not trying to even be a Darby hater. I get it. People liked him at one point, but he's just not so over with me anymore. Everyone is hearing me, right? Mercedes Monea doesn't take the pinch. The pin, I'm sure you meant. Okay, good. Some bumble fucking around here. Guys, yeah, so hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already. Share this, tell a friend. I don't know what to tell you. Hit retweet if you're watching on X. You guys can super chat in, become a member, gift a membership this holiday season. And yeah, looking forward to the show. So last week, or everybody all together now, Ichi Nissan, because it is time for AEW news. So, you know, last week, the story was, or the top of this week, perhaps, if you consider Sunday. I'm one of these guys where Monday's the start of the week. Let's be honest here. Sunday's still the weekend. I don't give a fuck how a calendar's structured. No, I obviously do, but you guys get what I'm getting at here. At the start of this weekend of last week, Tegan Knox, a.k.a. FKA, a.k.a. currently CKA, currently known as Nixon Newell, and Miranda Alizé walked out of AEW, is what came out, and then they said they were cleared to go home. And how many times does this happen where something happens in AEW, people in their office run and stooge to all the dirt sheets and just like tell a lie story to try and control the narrative. Dave comes out and has a little spurgy meltdown about it, and then fucking it's what gets parroted, and then all over the place. And then these wrestlers have to come out and be like, yeah, like we were told we could go home. So why are they taking business out there and everything? Now, that is goofy. What's also goofy is like walking out on the job and like not just doing the job you're employed to do and stuff, especially if you're at the TVs and you're willing to go to TV and not be used, but then you're not willing to go to TV and then not be used for 3 minutes. Like, what they did was unprofessional. If that was my company, yeah, I'd be like, okay, you guys can go home, and I'm never going to work with you again, for sure. But also at the same time, it's like, they're not being communicated with properly. It's like, come to work. Now, they wouldn't have done that to Vince. You wouldn't do that to Vince McMahon, but Tony Khan's not Vince McMahon. There's no hierarchy. And if there is, there's nobody. Like, you're working in AEW, you don't even see Tony Khan. He's making you wait till 3 a.m. and shit, like Devon's talking about. Like, how many stories like that are going to come out? Just like all these stories came out about Vince, it doesn't mean that they're not true just because you like AEW, guys, right? Everyone can admit that. You might like WWE. It doesn't mean like Vince didn't have people waiting outside his office and didn't fuck around and do redacted shit and not control things in the right way, be like over aggressively controlling things that he's fucking up at and being spread too thin. That's all the same criticisms you can apply to Tony Khan. So I see both sides of this argument when it, comes to them just being like, fuck this place. I totally get when people are like, fuck this place. But I also get if you booked a Fed or you were an indie promoter and you might not want to book them now or something. Makes total sense, right? But as like a fan who just like reacts to this shit, it's hilarious. It's like my favorite thing that happened in a while. But some wrestlers responded back. That whole preamble to get to some of these responses from some wrestlers, including Dustin Rhodes, who sort of like clapped back, I guess, at Newell and Alizé. So Nixie XS says, my 2-minute ROH match got me half my followers, a situationship, and my favorite Nixie gif. Never turn down an opportunity to look hot getting your ass kicked. And I mean, that's cool. Is she signed? Is she like rah-rahing for AEW and ROH? Like, is she signed to the company? Maybe she's trying to get booked by them again. Because that's the other thing that wrestlers will do. And maybe that's just her God's honest take, but like, I'm pretty sure Nixon Newell should be sunning you all, you know? I don't like, I've never heard of Nixie XS beforehand. I definitely followed her. Upon this, I follow like all pro wrestlers. If you're a pro wrestler, it doesn't matter what level, I'll give you a follow, you know? So I mean, yeah, good for her, and hopefully she gets booked more. It's just kind of a random name to pop out of nowhere. But Taya Valkyrie appears to have responded to Nixon Newell with a message on professionalism, and boy, did the IWC and the wackos jump all over her. And she had a response. She's like, yo, I'm just trying to be like positive about a situation, but it's just rah speech like all the time, man. All the time, constantly. I'm trying to think, like when Triple H gets criticized heavily, or when WWE goes to Saudi Arabia or whatever the fuck, or does a WrestleMania there, have we seen like a bunch of wrestlers come out and be like, nah, fuck that, and like trash someone? I don't know. I'm trying to think of an instance where WWE wrestlers, I know a bunch of wrestlers jumped on like Tessa Blanchard and shit, but but that wasn't just all WWE people, right? That was like one or two maybe. So I'm trying to think of an instance where like WWE's been criticized and then all the wrestlers like hit everyone with the, you know, hit everybody with like a fucking meltdown cope session where they're all just parodying like an email they received or something. It just feels that way. Maybe this one isn't that particularly same type of situation, I guess, but it's hard to separate them when it happens so often. You're like, what the fuck? Like, what are these rah speeches? Everyone's standing up for AW. Which like I go to bat for your company, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Things don't get better. It's not like there isn't 100 stories of this shit that have come out, and it's like, oh, wrestlers are just bitter. Okay, I feel like wrestlers didn't shit on TNA as hard. You know, like even wrestlers who were like, nah, Dixie was cool. They were at least honest about she just loved the boys and loved wrestling and just didn't really know what she was doing, you know, and like, you know, fucking people trashed her and people talk shit now. And people have done shoots, and Dixie, but even Dixie went on one of those shoot interview things and did like a live crowd. They're asking her questions. And maybe that's because she was a bit of a mark for herself, but she at least faced the people and like answered the questions directly and shit. Dixie Carter would never be like, I feared for my life if two of the boys got into like a scuffle like Punk did and shit. With Jack Perry, she wouldn't have did that. So, I don't know. It's just I don't recall the last time we've seen just so many people come out. It's like clockwork. AEW gets criticized, then like 4 or 5 wrestlers come out and then all of a sudden they bury these fucking wrestlers when it's like, what are the odds more wrestlers than ever treat AEW like it's a fucking joke? Like, what is it? Are they all wrong? Like, are they all just kooky? You know, like are they all just making it up and everyone else is an asshole? And that's why shit's dwindling. It's because everyone else are dickheads and the people who won't stand for it, they're the bad people and shit. Like, when is Nixon Newell no-showed? And then people start pulling shit from her Instagram like, oh, here was her opinion on vaccines. And here was her. Bro, what the fuck does any of that have to do with anything? She said she drinks a lot. Yeah, she's 30 years old, I think. How old is she? Someone check it. How old is she? Like, okay, you're 30. Yeah, you drink, man. Like, people, I don't know. She's young. She's going to get it together. It's like I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't think booze is ruining Tegan Knox's life. She seems to have done fine. None of this was an issue before. And people were simping for her when she got fucking released from WWE or not renewed or whatever. Everyone's like, oh, Tegan Knox, me, AEW. They were even making headlines, oh, Tegan Knox or Nixon Newell and Miranda Alizé make headlines for AEW's first openly gay couple and shit. And then all of a sudden, it's just like in a blink, people are like pulling up, Oh man, she drinks a lot. Oh man, she fucking disagrees with me on this thing that should be a complete and utter private thing. That is people's personal health. You know what I mean? Like, that should be completely private and between you and your fucking doctor. It's just like, it's crazy, man. So anyways, and I'm not saying Valkyrie's crazy. She actually put out a good message here, I suppose, but it's obviously like, what the fuck? Where's these random wrestlers coming from who wrestled once in ROH and are like, oh, this changed my life? So Taya says, at the end of the day, this is a business. It is our job. It doesn't matter if you get 1 minute or 45. That's so true. You make every second in front of those fans and on that TV count. 100%. It is an honor and a privilege to be a part of the show. Absolutely. Taya's spitting. I've been doing this for 15 years and I've been in every position, good, bad, champ, enhancement, and every single aspect of the show, small or big, is important. Make it count. And that's my TED Talk. She's 100% correct. And then people just jumped on her, you know? But I don't think hers is that cringe. Honestly, it's more gold dust. And I hate to do it, but or like random ROH wrestler, you know, like she follows up Nixie XS. People in my replies accusing me of being paid off by Tony Khan. Meanwhile, I just got announced for a WWE ID qualifier match. I love the art form of wrestling. I'm grateful for every chance I have to do it, period. Performing is a privilege. Saying that isn't a conspiracy. Yeah, there you go. So that's just her real feelings and shit. I don't think she's saying anything out of line. So so Taya says that LMAO, even in trying to spread some knowledge and perspective, the IWC out here being absolutely insufferable. A lot of you also seem to know a lot about a business you've never been in. I can't. And her tweet wasn't that bad. We have so much cringe tonight. I love it. So Doug Williams. Okay, so here's Doug Williams, UK. Is he signed to AEW? He is the ambassador of British wrestling, inventor of the chaos theory. So he's with Nuge, right? Or he's probably aligned with Tony Khan and Nuge a little bit. Let's just place that possible biases out there on the forefront. He says that in 2003, I had a dark match against James Storm in TNA. It was scheduled for 8 minutes. As I was walking through Gorilla, the agent said, "You've got 3 minutes." So I went out and beat James up for 2 minutes, 56 seconds. Then he pinned me. Easiest money I earned that year. So there's, that's one perspective as well. Yeah, I definitely agree with the notion of you have to, especially if you're pre-advertised for the shit like they were, like they set it up. You have to, even if it's 3 minutes, just don't ever work there again. Just, you got to go out there and perform for the fans. They're singing Justin Bieber karaoke on this fucking Big Bang. This show rules, dude. I get more distracted by Big Bang than fucking Dynamite. Big Bang reruns, dude. So Layla Gray had this to say. Meanwhile, some people in the back would kill for those 3 minutes on TV. And yeah, Tony Khan, why aren't you booking Layla Gray more? How
Best
about
guys,
that?
Tony Khan.
She'd kill for the 3 minutes, and you don't even gotta, you don't even gotta ask. Like, she's there, she's been there. Use her. Fuck. So moving along here, more people chimed in. Mandy Leone had this to say in response. She says, some of the same girls ganging up on them, Nixon and Miranda, on here are the same girls that have absolutely 100% complained about their times, opponents, stories, etc. too. It's gross. Stop. Not your monkey, not your circus. However it was handled. Focus on yourself. Ick. Boom. Even though she threw herself into the monkey circus, but it's all a circus, get some fucking Cracker Jacks. That's what I say. But when it comes to what she has to say here, she's right. And that's the other thing. I'm sure a bunch of girls have complained, a lot of the ones saying shit, some of the wrestlers saying shit. I'm sure they've all complained about who they're wrestling, how long they get, etc. Now, we're in a generation of like streamers and shit, and people get on their streams, and Tegan Nix and Newell streams a bunch, and people overshare and shit like this. Maybe she did a bit. It's a bit of that. Her being like, "Oh, I drink like every single day and shit." That's overshare. Like, I mean, why would you? I don't know. It just seems like that's something easy for people to meme on, but also like gives a fuck. She doesn't care. It's not like people just use anything to. Oh, she drinks a bunch. Yeah, she's 30, man. Like, whatever. Has she ever like shown up drunk? Has there ever been a story of her getting drunk? You know, and if she's sitting on her stream joking around, being like, and I don't know if it was joking around, but she's like, oh, I only take, I drink, me personally, I drink like once a month, or maybe like a couple times a month, you know, even like sometimes it'll be like once every couple months, you know, it just depends. At the same time though, I'm the sort of person where someday you need a fucking beer too, man. So maybe, you know what I mean? I'm not against that at all. I don't, it's not like it's ruined her life in any other way. It's not like she's never been in shape or doesn't look good or it fucked up her wrestling or anything like that to where it should be criticized. Now, all of a sudden people want to criticize that. I think that's fucked up too. But, yeah, I'm sure Taya and many gals have complained about their time. So Dustin Rhodes here. I just want to make sure I don't have others. Yeah, no, it's just Cringe, ticket updates. Okay, excellent. So Dustin Rhodes piped in and he says, when you get an opportunity to perform on television, you say yes. You do exactly what the company wants with great attitude. Otherwise, good luck in your future endeavors. Keep stepping, work ethic, passion, opportunity. Such a boomer. Such a goddamn boomer, dude. 4 hashtags of the keep stepping, work ethic, passion, opportunity. But you know, shout out Dustin Rhodes. I mean, he is a legend in the game. But yeah, he definitely always. Someone pulled like another one of his tweets where he stepped in to defend the company, and he was like, "Hey, just seeing this now." And the way he worded it is like, "Oh, I didn't get a chance to step in and defend the company earlier in the week, so let me do it now because I'm just getting the memo," or what. Like, it just seems so artificial when they all come out and do this. But yeah, when you get an opportunity to perform, you say yes. You do exactly what the company wants with a great attitude. Could you imagine him saying that about Vince McMahon when he had him doing Gold Dust shit? And he would go out there and do it, but like, could you imagine him tweeting this out and being like, well, this is why AEW's awesome? No, dude, this is why AEW's not awesome. Because either people talk uber shit about it or they fucking glaze it. And there's no in between because you're not allowed to be in between. And it's just copy and paste bullshit. So I don't know. They're white knighting for tone. It is a white Christmas. Okay, we know all about that. And there's a couple of like updates as far as the show, right? So Fightful Select reports that November 8 wasn't the first sign of issues between Nix and Newell and Miranda Alizé and AEW, with it being said that Newell was unhappy about their match with Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir was constructed, how it was rather, specifically Bayne selling for the losing team. This wasn't a decision Bayne could make on her own, as it is traditionally cleared with AEW producers for match is against unsigned wrestlers. It was noted that Bayne's frustration during the collision match on November 1 was legitimate due to what appeared to be a lack of cooperation. Specifically, a double German suplex spot was cited, a moment where Bayne's frustration was obvious. I think someone clipped the spot. I mean, okay, so what? So why is Bayne getting frustrated and out there in these weird work shoot situations with Thunder Rosa and a chair? Do you guys remember that? Like, why is Bayne always involved in these controversies? I think when Camille was there as well, people said something about Bayne and Camille, but whatever, man. She's always just seems to be in the middle of this shit. as well. So just pointing it out. What else? There was one more here, I think. Oh yeah. So Fightful Select reported that an AEW source informed them that Brian Danielson, personally spoke with both women and wasn't thrilled about the way the match went, as it did not align with All Elite Wrestling's creative direction. It further noted that multiple women in the AEW ROH locker room also contacted Fightful. Oh my God, they're all just snitching. Bro, they're all fucking telling the sheets. They're all staging it. Multiple women back there contacted Fightful. Like, we didn't even have to reach out, or what? Is that what you guys are saying? Oh man, that's so rough. Oh, that's so rough. They're just doing it to themselves, man. Also contacted and voiced their frustration over the situation, claiming that they would have loved for even 3 minutes on Collision. Oh man, so a bunch of the girls called Fightful. Yeah, no, they fucked up. I would have killed for that 3 minutes. Why ain't Tony Khan giving you your minutes, man? That's another problem. The criticisms, why ain't Tony Khan booking these fucking people? All these fucking sickos. Oh, everyone should be champion, and the Fed, it's an evil Fed. You go to AEW. People just would kill for 3 minutes, or what? Oh man. Even 3 minutes on Collision. Fightful Select further shared that people in AEW believe that the situation would have remained quiet if Alizé would have remained quiet. Need an editor there. Quiet if Alizé had not posted a cryptic tweet before the show began. The common belief. No, it's the common belief. Who the fuck's writing over here at common? Yeah, it's common belief, man. I don't know. We need an editor here over there at Fightful. I know everyone's got to crank shit out as quick as you can, but fuck. The common belief is that even if the situation had concluded smoothly, it was not smooth anymore. Smoothly. It was not smooth anymore. Excellent. So, well done. Let's see if there's any up. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on the just updates on the Nixon Newell Miranda Alizé situation. So speaking of women in wrestling here, Mercedes Moné had some matches and has some cringe for us. So Mercedes Moné, who's in Blood and Guts tonight, is challenging Nora Phoenix Diana, who addresses Mercedes Moné ahead of their APAC Wrestling Women's Championship match at Hog Wrestling this Saturday. A very passionate promo. I don't think JD will be on commentary, but
10 years ago,
she's a Malaysian pro wrestler here. We don't. It's a three. We don't even watch
into a wrestling ring for the very first time, and I did it because of one woman, Mercedes Moné. She was fast, fearless, different.
They're showing her highlights of AEW. So you mean when she was Sasha Banks? You mean when she was Sasha Banks? But this girl got into wrestling because of Sasha Banks. And now she's about to do the JOB for Mercedes Moné, dude.
And when I watched her, I saw something I've never seen before. A woman who made me believe that maybe, just maybe, someone like me belong in this world too. Now, 10 years later, I'm not watching anymore. I'll be standing across the ring from her. I've worked, I've trained, I've bled. I carried a dream for a decade.
It's fucking sad they're making all these people job to Moné like this, dude.
And in only my second match on American soil, I'm defending the APAC Wrestling Women's Championship. Not just a title, but a symbol of how far I've come. Because Impact Wrestling isn't just a promotion. It's a bridge connecting worlds, proving that greatness can rise from anywhere who's willing to fight for it. I may come from the other side of the world, one that is often overlooked, always in the blind spot, but my fire burns just the same. Every day I fought to be seen. In fact, I fight twice as hard than everybody else to prove that I belong on the world stage, that I am.
Dude, she's cutting a fucking promo right here. Like, holy shit.
On the elite level. To show that my story, our stories matter. This fight is bigger than me. It's for everyone who's haven't been told they don't belong. For the dreamers, the outsider, for
imagine if like they just did this on their TV show. Imagine if Tony Khan built up to a match between them and she was saying the shit on their show.
anyone who's ever been underestimated and kept going anyway. And yes, for every hijabi girl believed she could step into the light. Mercedes, I respect you. You inspired me, but respect doesn't mean surrender, because while you chasing for another piece of gold, I'm defending everything I fought to build.
Dude, I hope she beats Monet so badly. I'm a fucking Phoenix fan. That's her name, right? Phoenix?
Mark my words. I will be the one to end your goal hunt. At Super Clash, the world will be watching.
Except for me. Unfortunately, I've been asked to leave the show. I'm over here now.
They'll see strength, they'll see heart. They'll see the woman who refused to quit away, because I'm Nor Phoenix Diana. And I am the flame that never dies.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm pulling for Nor Diana. 100%. Mercedes Monet, though, she retained the Bestia Women's Championship versus Queen Maya in Rome, Italy. And this was a few days ago. Of course, retaining her belt.
¡El Bismuthos! ¡Bismuthos! ¡Oh!
And Mortis speared that lady. Beast Mortis interfered. So on these global shows, I guess, around the world, she brings Mortis with her.
¡Bismuthos!
She's at least out there doing the damn thing, but we got some cringe action there. Here is her and Mortis recreating the Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, this is the night.
Who's the tramp? Am I right, fellas? Which one's the tramp? Am I right, guys? Oh.
Beautiful night. And we call it the bell.
I know who's the tramp, but which one's the lady? Am I right, fellas? I don't know. That's cute, I guess. So, yes. Let's Tony Khan Woucha. Let's do. Let me just refresh Tony Khan's page here. I want to see if he goes live before Blood and Guts. He might not. He might not, dude. That's okay though. What's chat saying here? Fat Factor creation for 5 guys. So you can super chat in. You can gift a membership. It's the holiday season, or you can become a member for only 99 cents to do weekly bonus shows. This last Monday's fucking ruled, and you don't want to miss them. Because I don't know, last Monday's was awesome, but you know YouTube doesn't like it that much afterwards. So you want to try and catch them live or shortly thereafter. But on Patreon. They're also all on there, unedited, on whatever the fuck. And I have a show coming to Patreon exclusively as well in the near future. That will be weekly or bi-weekly at the very least. A pod that's exclusively on Patreon, which I'll tell you guys more about that soon when the first episode's in the bank there. But Fat Factor Creation for 5 says, remember how AEW astroturfs the sheets whenever it's been their own fault? Yeah. Oh, buddy. You know it. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, dude. They do this shit all the time. So even if like Tegan Knox and like was being incredibly unprofessional, it's the fact that like it's repeatedly over and over again the same playbook, so people don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt. We talk about that a lot on this show here. People aren't going to give AEW the benefit of the doubt that it isn't their fault when we've just heard so much shit about the company and so much shit that hasn't been said yet that will be said when all is said and done. You know, hopefully in our lifetimes, certainly within Cody Rhodes's lifetime, etc. Right? And other names, they will certainly speak about this stuff one day. But yeah, man, it's what happens. They just come and astroturf the dirt sheets, and then they play victim. So it is what it is. And I'm trying to think, what's an example where WWE, like even with the Saudi news, did everyone come out and just, hey, and even that's not a good example because it's not like wrestlers were saying shit about it, really. But it didn't have to do with them like sending wrestlers home and shit. Maybe some ex-disgruntled wrestlers like Jonathan Coachman and these guys. But yeah, no, it never fails. That's the problem. So people aren't willing to be like, nah, you know, less people are willing to blame Nixon Newell and them just based off of like, well, AEW's always fucking people around, you know? There's just way too many instances of it. And just seemingly picking the wrong side in a lot of fights, you know? And especially after saying they weren't going to do shit like that. That's what Tony Khan launched the company on. All this, like, we're not going to keep wrestlers hostage and we're healthcare and all this shit. And then none of, like, when you see that's not how you operate a pro wrestling business. And he acted like he's going to be all transparent. He keeps everything under lock and key and NDA'd up. And it's a private company that he doesn't want anybody knowing shit about. So it is what it is, man. It's just don't preach the opposite and then just end up like every promoter ever. You know, he's just the same as all the shitty promoters who didn't learn ever. So let's move along here. In other random news, the Good Brothers, Brodito at the WrestleCade Super Show took on the Good Brothers. So that's awesome, I guess. Mr. Kennedy said that he absolutely is in the business. He wants to tell stories. He says, the one thing I will say, and it took me until recently to put my finger on it, it was something I always felt was missing from my career with WWE. When I first got to WWE, we couldn't even say darn or dang it. So with AEW having free reign that they do, it would be a good fit, I think, for me. I like the John Moxley stuff. So he was lobbying to try and get into WWE. Now he's lobbying, trying to get into AEW. Mr. Kennedy, and I'm not hating on him, but he's just trying to get into one of these wrestling companies before he has to wrap it up, you know, call it a day. He wants one last final run. I don't think Triple H and them like him much, but I don't think Tony would want him either. Let's just be honest. Speaking of someone who nobody really wants right now, Andrade reportedly walked out of the Crash X1V Anniversario wrestling event in Mexico last Friday. And this was Dave Meltzer. And we'll play a flute for him right now. It's a mini Dave Meltzer moment because...
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Because he fucking gets called out for this. Like, I guess this is a fake story or something. Or Andrade's at least like calling Dave out for talking about him again. But Dave says Andrade was on the show, probably the main attraction on the show. He was there signing autographs and then he left. The only thing that we heard was that he was unhappy. So I don't know what the story is. His non-compete is only United States, so he can work in Tijuana. He can work Mexico City, Brian. So Dave says that, right? And then Andrade pipes in and slaps him around. He says, Fui a la comida China. I don't even know what he's saying. Okay, I'm going to try that. But Ray Phoenix is under here laughing. Ja, la parada obligatoria, mi brother. LK, whatever, right? They're all talking. Roosh is under here. So they're talking shit. What does this mean? Someone translate this for me. I'll hit Google Translate. We're translating over here now. To English. I went to that Chinese place called HK. Okay. So, yeah, I don't get it, but everyone's laughing. What am I missing? That one went over my head. All good, but Andrade just clapping back and making fun of Dave, to say the least. Oh, he's just saying like he went to a Chinese restaurant to go eat. So is he just joking around? Did he actually walk out of the show? The mystery remains. The truth is out there, and the mystery remains a mystery. The mystery remains unsolved here on Unsolved Mysteries. So Dax Harwood reveals that he pitched for Stokely Hathaway to manage FTR in WWE. And he says, the crazy thing is, when we were with the other company, the story is all out there. We were asking for our release. We wanted to leave. We wanted to quit because I needed money to feed my family. I had a meeting with the head of creative, and he asked me what I wanted to do. I said Stokely's name. I said, I'd love to have him as our manager. And the head of the company said, okay, that's not a bad idea, but he's going into something else. Fast forward, we knew that we were wrapping things up with Tully Blanchard. I talked to Tone. He said, hey, I think there's this guy in NXT who's an incredible mouthpiece. He can bump his ass off, and he's very entertaining. I think he'd be a great gift for us, and I think we could benefit from him being our manager, and then I can make more money to feed my family. So Tony hired him at my request, and we were supposed to immediately start teaming up together. But as luck and fate had it, fans just all of a sudden started connecting with us on a different level than they'd ever connected before. They started liking us, and we got adored by the fans. So we didn't want to bring in Stokely to be with us at that time, but we had already gotten him the job so he could feed his family. And so he went on to do a few things, but be with a few people. It didn't work out. I think it didn't work out because some of the people that he was with were a little upset that he was outshining them because he's a small guy, bald, short, gets no hose. We allow him to do most of the speaking because we know what he brings to the table as far as food on my table to feed my family, being a whole other tool for FTR. We're lucky to have him, man, and I think he's the best in the world at what he does right now. I think it didn't work out because some of the people that he was with were a little upset that he was outshining them. Huh. In AEW, or does he mean in NXT? Like, who's that direct shots at? Someone trace it, and if we get clarification on what exactly he meant, we would know who he's taking shots at there. Moving along here. Eddie Kingston says he will stop wrestling on the independent scene within the next year. So this is my last indie run, guys, doing Beyond in a show in Jersey this weekend. After that, I'm taking only one show a month. By next November, I'm done with the indies. And yeah, nothing more to it. As of now, I have December and March, April, May. So he's going to go do Muay Thai on the indies. In a last indie run, I wonder if AEW is going to give him a big send-off. Speaking of send-offs, Adam Copeland, so it was reported like Adam Copeland taking an extended leave from AEW. And I'm like, dude, that's all he's done since he's been in AEW. Oh, yeah, I'm in The Beekeeper. He's been spotted in London recently to film his role for The Beekeeper 2. Copeland will be working on the film for most of November. And then he'll be back. And again, Husey, hit us with an allegedly. That he is him and Christian re-signed long deals and will likely retire, end their careers in AEW and all of that, which is kind of unfortunate, I guess. But it's not like they won't do WWE inductions and all of that. I mean, AEW is it's going to be the new fucking TNA, how we used to view TNA back when it was at its lowest is how AEW will be perceived in the next few years. Unless all of a sudden a miracle happens, so it's not like Kurt Angle or even Sting at one point we all kind of accepted. We're like, oh, they're going to end their careers there type shit too. So, speaking of career ending, man, Tony Khan gave us some cringe. Let's save it though, because Hangman gave us some cringe here first. And Drain Bamager says, Hangman beautifully explains why he specifies himself as the AEW Men's World Champion to put both the world titles on the same level, at least in AEW, and try to make an even small change with decision makers in pro wrestling. Gay? No, I'm just joking. But guys, for real, this is passe virtue signaling bullshit. Just take notes from WWE. The title, it doesn't matter what it's called. It doesn't matter what it's called. It doesn't matter if it's the hardcore title. Rob Van Dam proved this, and he makes that claim to this day. Hey, dude, the ECW television title meant more than the world title at one point. There was at one point the IC title. Everyone was like, well, that's the fucking prestigious workhorse title that people respected more than the WWE title in some aspects. Maybe not to that extreme, but maybe to that extreme for some hardcore fans. It's not about the name of the fucking belt even, dude. I mean, it is for marketing and shit, but if you're talking about it's about the booking of the belt and who's holding the goddamn thing and how the booking and who has it, how it elevates and what it's being used. What is it accomplishing? Is it just a fucking random, we're going to add belts and belts and belts, and you get a belt and you get a belt, you get a belt, oh my. Everybody gets a fucking belt. If it's just that, then yeah, they mean nothing. And then you have to have little cope sessions like this. Take a note from WWE. 60% or more of their shows are women and their belts. I was just complaining about too many fucking belts. And why? The U.S. means nothing. It's flat as piss on the women's side. You can even say it about WWE. Doesn't matter. The belts don't matter. The name of the belt doesn't matter. It's how has it been elevated? How was it booked? What story did it tell? What magic did it create in there? Bubba? Doesn't matter shit about, the men's and the women's. Yeah, I know you and Tony Khan and you chuckle fucks still view women's wrestling as this thing that can't get over, and Tony still has them making out and slapping each other with pork chops and spanking each other with mashed potatoes and cakes and stuff. And I know that it hasn't gone past this fucking ruthless aggression era, right? But everybody accepts women's wrestling as it can be more over than the men's wrestling in 2025, so this is just such a I don't know. It's just such a cringy fucking thing. You're the world champion, the women's world champ. It's the women's world champ. Okay. And fucking fuck around. Well, we're men though. Why isn't it? Because it's mostly men who still wrestle. Okay. Maybe more women are catching on quicker now in this generation, but it's we get it. If I'm talking about Charlotte Flair and I say, oh, the world tag champs, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's not, it's just a cringy thing. No one cares. Get over yourselves, The
men's division, it's largely, separated by sex, gender. The men's division has been billed as the world champion. That is the person.
It is the world champion. And why? Because the men's world champion who beat the shit out of the women's world champion, chances are, and if the chances go the other direction and she's like China, then she'll win the IC belt or Nia Jax has been in the men's Rumble. And that's the distinction between the two is what makes it unique and compelling and relatable to people. Imagine that in your wrestling program. Instead of fucking pulling needles out of your ass, sticking them through people's cheeks and burning their houses down.
They're coming to the arena. It's the world champion. And then women's wrestling, as it gains steam historically, they've created a separate championship that is the women's world championship. And to me, that always seemed like, if you have to specify that one's for the women and the other one is the world championship, it felt like it created this.
So there's the world championship and the world championship. What the fuck are you? No, that's why I say men's. Well, we understand it because you're a guy. The fuck are we talking about? Fuck are you doing?
Shut up, bitch.
Hierarchy where one, you're telling the viewer and the audience that one of them is more important than the other. And I don't think that.
No, you're just telling them that there's boys and girls. I don't really get what you're.
That's the way that our fans feel any longer,
Your fans don't feel shit. Your fans feel fucking Stockholm syndrome because they're in a fucking cult. What is that? Is it Stockholm syndrome? That's where like your captor, you like start to empathize with them or whatever, right? What is it where you're in a cult and you're like scared to fucking they're like blinded by the cult, right?
Feel like specifying myself as men's world champion, just in the opportunities that I get to speak about the championship or being the champion.
So what are you saying? Men are equal to women? Yeah. That happened a long time ago. What are you talking about, dude?
My career, I think specifying that maybe
tell that to your fucking booker who books their titles like shit and doesn't give a fuck, and they're all just interchangeable to him. Women are just fucking. He doesn't know how to book women or luchas. I've always said that about Tony Khan since the early days of the show. Women and luchas, he just is clueless.
It just asks people to stop and think, whether it's fans, the audience, or whether it's people involved in wrestling, decision makers, or the wrestlers themselves. To kind of, I've tried to do that. I've always tried to institute small little changes in the world that I'm involved in.
These guys interfere. Are like, bro, what the fuck are you talking? The guys interviewing him are like, bro, the fuck are you talking about?
To make the world more representative of how I feel like it truly is or should be. And that's been something that I've tried to do with this.
Oh man. Yeah, Hangman, buddy. I think what you should try to do is like get through to Tony Khan and get some better like storylines and wrestling angles going on the TV show.
The men's
Stop
division.
worrying about shit like that. Like, yeah. Oh my god, it's like Rhea Ripley's a bigger star than you, bro. Okay, no one cares what the fuck you're talking about. She's happy to have the women's world championship. You know what I'm saying? So just shut the fuck up. How about that? So Tony Khan, man, speaking of just outlandish shit, he had two outlandish things to say, two outlandish takes here, and we are on Tony Khan Watch, where we're watching to see if he goes live. I don't think he's gonna. It's 1 minute until showtime. We've just been roasting him too hard. So I don't think he's gonna go live. But Tony Khan did say that he would love to have Shaquille O'Neal, of course, WWE 2K25 superstar, Shaquille O'Neal back in the ring in AEW. Now, I heard, okay, this is an X-Files.
Allegedly.
That Shaq was legit pissed about that match that went down in AEW. Like, that actually pissed him off. He did it as a favor to Jade and to Cody Rhodes. And I don't know. I guess he didn't know about the table thing, like how that was going to work out. And he like actually was pissed off and he won't go back there. He wouldn't go back there type thing. Or it was just Bush League, whatever. He just did it for a check. Same with Mike Tyson. I don't know, though. That could all be bullshit. I'm willing to believe that, though, just based off of he hasn't been back. Mike Tyson hasn't been back. He was falling asleep at the one Dynamite, and the rumors are he just did that. He owed them 2 appearances. He got a couple checks for those. So, or he did one and then he agreed to 2 more. But by the 3rd one, he's like, I don't even want to do this shit. But it was a paycheck or whatever the fuck. Or on the 2nd one, whatever. That's the rumor of Tyson. Either way, Shaq's 1-0. So Tony Khan talks about his record. Shaq's 1-0. But he's been away from AEW. He disappeared out of the ambulance in 2021, and we haven't seen him since. So I would love to get Shaq back in the ring. He's got to be one of the all-time greatest stars ever in basketball, and he's undefeated in AEW. I don't think that's ever going to happen, Tony Khan. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think that Shaq is in WWE 2K25 for a reason. And I could see Shaq showing up maybe in WWE again at some point. Not that I give a fuck about that as a wrestling fan, but yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen. And Tony Khan hasn't really gotten any celebrities other than, like, I mean, there's been some of those rappers, Brian, too many of those people, unless it's AEW, unless it's Ricky Rose, Brian. So another outlandish thing Tony Khan says is that he'd love to bring AEW to France and Germany at some point. And it's like, and Meltzer said this, but it's like, stole the words right from my fucking mouth. It's like, okay, I'm sure he'd want to have one on the moon too. I'm sure he'd love to have AEW WrestleMania. Like, what makes, well, his quote is, we've never done a show in France. I'd love to go to Paris for AEW and all over France. Why? Because you saw WWE do hot shit there? Because UFC's hot there? You think you can just insert AEW there? It's just, it makes no sense, man. And he goes, I'd love to go to Germany, which is a great wrestling market. Do you have fans in Germany? Do people in Germany get AEW? There's a lot of great wrestling fans in Germany. I think that'd be a great place for us to have AEW at some point. Like, what? Wouldn't that be nice if Tony Khan could go to Germany or France? Like, yeah, that'd be amazing. What are you doing to accomplish that? It's all just like, this would be cool, this would be cool, this would be cool. Do it. And there's no rhyme or reason to anything. And so we have some attendances here. They're setting things off with the women's Blood and Guts, which we're going to lock into here. But speaking of Blood and Guts, tonight, the tickets sold. There's actually an update there at 4,900 tickets, not a sellout for their setup. Now, maybe they papered it 1,000 or so, which is what every wrestling company does. And we're going to talk about that in TNA news in a little bit. But Collision in Utilita Arena, Cardiff, 2,800 tickets sold. This is for December in a month. And they're set up for 4,000. They've sold 2,800. So those are strong houses for AEW, but still, those are just like shitty houses for what they were doing like 4 years ago or whatever. So on December 31st, they're going live with Dynamite New Year's Smash. They've sold 996 tickets. They're not even set up for 2,000. Dynamite on December 3rd in Fishers, Indiana. Or Fishers, Indianapolis, pardon me. Or Indiana. So we got Sky Blue and Willow in the ring here. Pardon me. Okay, yeah, she's got like a... What's that on the ropes? Like just red tape or whatever? Tickets distributed 2,100 and then set up 2,700. So, yeah, this match is underway here. Speaking of Blood and Guts, so these have just been updates throughout. Yeah, so they hit 4,700, not 4,900. Pardon me. And then Full Gear sold 7,700 tickets. The setup's for 8,900. So they're doing like TNA Bound for Glory numbers there, which some people have questioned. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nisanda, that was AEW news.
Ichi Nisanda.
Yeah.
And so let's watch Blood and Guts here. Let's lock in for this. We have plenty more news. We got some WWE news, some TNA news, some Mist news tonight. The sickos will be segmenting as well. Guys, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe. You can super chat in if you want to support PWT. Check out patreon.com/prowrestletimes. And yeah, you can gift memberships as well. So Thomas Moore 9704 for 5 says, I'm Irish, so I have to drink every day by law. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, dude. I think Frank Sinatra famously once said, like, I feel bad for people who don't drink because if you don't, like, oh, no, that was on The Apron, pardon me. Yeah, I was just looking at things incorrectly. You know, he's like, you know, people who don't drink, like, that's the best you're going to feel all day. And whatever, it's not even necessarily alcohol. That's just like whatever everybody's got like a crutch or a crux or a hook, like a habit, whether it's like at the end of the day, man, you have to have that glass of wine. I mean, that's fucking on you. We're all adults here. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck off. She's like, I'm 30. I like to party. Okay. Like, who gives a shit? Everybody fucking parties up until they're 30 or till they're around their 30 or whatever the fuck. Or through their 30s. Some people don't chill out till later. It's like, who cares? Why are you life judging her now? So yeah, exactly. And then look at exactly like the Irish, you motherfuckers. Same with Canadians, man. We like our beer, dude. Yoda Cola 23, member for 19 months. Shout out Yoda Cola, who's been a member for 19 months. A silent assassin. Lincoln Hawk's been a member for 16 months. If we buy Eddie Kingston a Panda Express gift card, do you think he'll stop wrestling this week? He'll meet Andrade at the Chinese place at the Chinese restaurant called HK. You know what I'm saying? I acknowledge you guys. Thank you so much. Round of applause. So let's, I guess, call some action here for this Blood and Guts match. If it goes to commercial and shit, we have more news. Don't go anywhere. We're hanging out tonight, folks. It's an odd Wednesday where Dynamite's actually like, okay, I want to see what the ladies can do. I'm curious what the ladies can do more than the men. We've already seen Moxley and Darby in 1,000 bullshit matches. Like, who gives a fuck? They're saying there's going to be a surprise tonight, perhaps like MJF return or a fucking, you know, something like a Swerve return or whatever. Sky Blue's already bleeding. Willow's getting physical here. Oh, big lariat. So Willow's awesome. I like her pants too. Again, could have been booked way better. Sky Blue's always doing this, though. Bloodying herself up, landing in barbed wire, getting stuck, breaking her fucking leg. People are diving on her. She's like a legit model. And she just fucks around with this hardcore shit. I'll never understand. It's not like she can't ever do this, but it's like, for some of these girls, like, I feel like Willow, really, we only see her when it's like, oh, the women are going to have a hardcore match. And then Willow comes out wearing jeans or camo pants or whatever. She's bleeding everywhere. She's leaking, man. Okay, so we have more Julia Hart hitting the ring here. Power bombed her, stacked her up for the big bomb. And I'll say this, I like that AEW keeps the roof on the War Games. Isn't it crazy we're getting like 2 War Games this month? And in WWE, it seems as though, because like what a spectacular Raw as well, by the way. Fucking amazing Raw. One of the best Raws. Well, I don't know. Overall, it wasn't like the greatest Raw ever, but like so many key points in that Cena shit, dude. He won the IC title, and then Pierce announced there's a mystery person from his draw too. So it's like I'm just done guessing. I'm just enjoying the ride because I did not think they would do that. And again, Husey comes on the show. What did Husey say? He's like, yo, they want Dom. I read this allegedly on the show as well before he came on, but they wanted, it was something like, it was about like whatever the fuck, Dom being involved with Cena, whatever. And then I know Meltzer and them were like, Cena could win the IC title. It's been discussed. Dirt sheets were saying it, so maybe they were onto something there. But they actually did it. So the winner of that tournament gets the IC title as well. That shit was fucking amazing. I couldn't believe it. What a spectacular Raw, by the way. And it's not Cena's last. See, I thought it was his last Raw. It's his last time in Boston, and then he's on the next Raw, and then he has Survivor Series, and then it's his Saturday Night Main Event retirement. Sky Blue is just bleeding so much. But yeah, that IC title win, just who saw that coming? And then who's going to win the tournament? I think it'll end up being, it'll just be Gunther or whatever. Like, it'll be whoever Cena's going to drop that title to, who's going to like add prestige to that title and like be in WWE for the next few years. So like a Gunther or a Joe Hendry or something. But either way, it's all just so brilliant. That moment with Cena, the way Dom came out, got all that fucking heat. That was so brilliant, man. I'm just like, yeah, it's so fun to get worked and swerved and not know. I'm so tired of these fans who fucking like think it's an own to not be worked or whatever. Like you're owning people who get worked. And I was right there on the fence of like, I don't believe shit Dave says. So I was like, they're not going to give him the IC belt. Don't give him the Grand Slam. But then the way they did it, I was like, I don't like that. Nah, he shouldn't get the Grand Slam. If he wins the IC, it's cooler that he doesn't. Not everyone needs every belt, but it's just the way they did it. And it's like, fuck, this is just like, it was so good. I was just like, I instantly take back what I said. And it's because you don't know what you want till they give it to you a lot of the time either, And especially with this final Cena run, I know some people complain about him being heel for a few months. Nah, it was perfect. We needed that. It was just the perfect like final run ever. He did everything. He won mid-card titles, challenged Sami Zayn for the US, didn't win it. He fucking he helped get people over. He won some matches. He won the world championship, got the record, got the Grand Slam on his belt, went heel, went ultra babyface. He did everything. It's like the greatest finale run maybe ever, So War Games is picture in picture here. I'll call the action if you guys would like. Because I don't know what you guys are watching on, if you have the picture in picture, but Willow's working Harley Cameron over in the corner. This match has been pretty goddamn good so far. I'm not going to lie. Oh, and then War Games. So somebody brought up War Games. So the Wyatts, guys, it seems like there's going to be like 3 War Games, Matt. I think every match will be War Games and then maybe 1 non-War Games. The reason I say that is because we have the Wyatts versus the MFTs, which was like pre-announced, which again, card subject to change. Okay, they pivoted away from that. Who gives a shit? But that's what everybody thought it was going to be, and it's what was, I guess, announced, and it's being set up that way. But then Uncle Howdy's dealing with some shit, so they're down some people. So then we started to see SmackDown set up. Well, hey, there's Sami Zayn, there's Rey Fenix, there's Shinsuke, and they're beefing with the MFT. So I was like, man, maybe they can team up with some of the Wyatts, or they're setting up like a 3-way War Games, or maybe they're setting up like, here's this whole other group that'll fight the MFTs in War Games just because Uncle Howdy can't be there, his dad's sick or whatever. So like they're setting up a backup plan to say the least. But then on Raw, we get 2 confirmed. And this is, again, shout out fucking Husey, man. Shout out, Husey.
Allegedly.
I'm sorry I couldn't make the stream, Husey. And most people would be like, oh, I'm going to be on with Sean Oliver and Shula. I'm going to go fuck my show. I'm going to do that. But fuck no. I'm here for the PWT universe. Okay, God damn it. And I love Husey to death, but I'll have to catch him on the next one. I'm here for you guys. But Husey came a long time ago on the show and said, or maybe he didn't say it on the show, but I definitely read it, or he said it on the show, but he said this, that they were looking to reduce the number of people in the War Games matches. They'd prefer if it was like 3v3, if they could have it that way even. And, you know, like 5v5 is too much. 4v4 is cool. Like, that's what the fans like. But they would even do 3v3 if they could. You know, they'd have two guys fight in that thing, one-on-one, if they could get away with it type shit. Was like what he was throwing at me, right? He had heard that from someone. I don't know. We forget his name, right? But it seems like they're doing a 3v3. They're doing Rhea, Io, Charlotte, and Alexa versus the Kabuki Warriors and Lash and Nia Jax. And they're doing it seemed they're doing Punk, Jay, Rhodes, and someone else. What's the guy one again? What's the guy one? Because Regal came out, they're like, Regal, and then Regal came out and he's like, War Games for the guys. So maybe they add Jimmy Uso to that shit. But he might be with his wife having a kid and shit. We don't know. So I think that either they're just going to completely get rid of the Wyatts versus MFTs War Game shit, and they're just going to do two, the men's and the women's. Or I think what they could do is 3 War Games matches, and that's all there is on the show. And that could be overkill, but just the whole event is 2 rings, 3 cages. Or 3 matches, 3 cages. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Tekla's coming out. You guys know I get distracted when my girl Tekla's out there, okay? She's got that fucking sauce. So 3 cages, 2 rings. It's a great new gimmick I've came up with. One of them's in the back. We don't really use it, but it's just back there. Oh man. What does Tekla have? Like she's got an 8-ball and a sock. Oh. Yeah, so I doubt they'll do 3 War Games matches, but they might just scrap that whole MFTs one. But if they do 2 guys, or this would be awesome, 1 traditional Survivor Series match with the men, a women's War Game, a men's War Game, and then you can add like a singles match on there for the women or something. Boom, right there. That's a perfect PLE. Even just with the War Games matches, they go a little longer, 3 matches on the show, 4 matches. I don't mind that. But yeah, I could see them also adding some folks to each side. But if they do a 3v3 one, just be ready for that to happen too, because that's sort of how they set it up, right? But Roman Reigns could also just show up and be a part of the one. So, and then you could just 4v4 it or whatever. So what does Hater have here? Like a sack of marbles? Damn, that cane like stuck to Tekla. God damn. Dude, this barbed wire kendo stick is ripping all the ladies. Like it's sticking to all of them. This is ruthless. Now, with having like no heat on this match, really, it's been really good so far, right? Like just going into it knowing like, hey, it's AEW, fuck the story, just watch these blood and guts match. Let's see if they do them well. I was hoping the ladies would deliver on this one. So far they are. But you know the men are going to go crazy. This is where Darby Allin, like, Sticks a lit cigarette up his bum or something crazy. I'm telling you, because how do they up this and how do they up the shit they've done before in these matches? Like, yeah, Megan Bain hits Hater with like a claymore. Here we go. Megan Bain firing up now on everybody. Absolute Batman is a great. Yeah, some people got pissed in the comments. I had like comic book sickos being like, well, you know that they're people in they're like, I guess these, I guess all the police in this Absolute Batman book, they're all like white supremacists. And so he's like deleting a bunch of like Klan guys basically, which is like, okay, that's cool. We didn't know. Like I was just looking at panels because the annual just came out. Like, so I was just going based off that, right? But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people hype on that Absolute Batman. Apparently, a lot of people like it, and I'm hype again. I'm hype whenever comics are doing hot. Personally, I mean, Batman used to shoot motherfuckers. We went over it on the show. Like Ben Affleck's Batman was straight up shooting people, you know, until like at the start of even like the Snyderverse and shit. So it's like I mean. It just is the story good? Is the art good? The art looked cool as fuck. I won't lie. Them doing Kenny Omega moves was cringe as fuck. So, Yoda Cola 23 for 5 says Nixon said on her Twitch that she never had a conversation with Danielson that night. Boom, roasted.
I don't know.
You know, thank you so much for the contribution and for the update there. There you go. So she's saying she never talked to Danielson. So everyone's lying. How about we just ask them and they'll tell you?
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
And all the people running to talk to Dirt Sheets, and the Sheets know this too. All of these Sheets know that the people running to talk to them shouldn't be, they're just people trying to get themselves over. So they shouldn't be taken as seriously, right? And they know what they're doing. The company doesn't like that unless it's AEW because they like when you fucking stooge for them and you white knight for them. And when you brown nose in that company, they fucking love that. So maybe I'm wrong in that assessment, but typically the people stooging, it goes disliked. Or they go disliked, rather. Here we go. So she gets pushed. Everyone's bumble fucking around now. It's getting goofy now. Fuck this make peace bullshit. Just fight. Yeah, like the match is going good until like the last two. Well, Megan Bain's like doing her thing, and then Stat comes out, and now here we go. See, they should have just went right to this. Stat and Bain face off. I might be like a minute behind you guys. So it's picture in picture. Oh, look, Shaquille O'Neal in this commercial. We're connected. It's crazy. An NBA gambling fucking, yeah, come to DraftKings commercial with all the shit going on. Oh, man. So these ladies are brawling it out. It's hard to see in this little picture in picture rather. So that's Harley Cameron, or no, that's Julia Hart rather, glomming everyone with that kendo stick. The ladies are spread out between both rings. Hater's getting choked out by Julia. Tekla's there backing Julia up. Now they're using the barbed wire kendo stick more. Yeah, Sky Blue may have bled out everywhere for all I know. Notice Tony Khan didn't do a live. Damn, hey. I think he'll keep doing them, but he's got to know we're LOLing at them every show at this point. So the picture in picture goes away. It's a Jameson commercial. Remember when Conor McGregor was like, fuck the Jameson brothers or whatever he said? Thomas Moore 9704 for 5 says comics haven't been doing well in years. Yeah, exactly. But like comparatively, right? I know that. Trust me. I fucking know that. I know first fucking hand how poorly comics have been doing. But I'm just saying relative to the last like decade even, like isn't Absolute Batman doing good? DC's fucking trash. This is why they team up with this is why they team up with AEW and they just have like crossover whatever the fuck books. They don't care. Like it's been trash. It's people are saying it is starting to make a bounce back now because MCU's been trash, Marvel comics have been trash, and DC's like making an effort to get some interest back, and they're making waves with James Gunn's DCU, and the DC animated universe has always owned the Marvel animated universe. Like DC AU always greater than Marvel AU, but I'm just saying, like, relative to like the 2020s, Absolute Batman, I think is like doing okay for them. You know, I don't know how they quantify that anymore. Comics are shit, you know, these days, like mostly. So, guys, there's 230 watching across every channel, both channels and X. Run those likes up. We're at 43 likes on clips. We need at least 100 likes because I heard that there's a special entrant in the Blood and Guts. Everyone thinks he's returning to WWE. He's actually returning to PWT tonight. Cameraman just missed that power bomb. So in the middle of this match, these fucking cucks run out there and they set up her titles on a table. Like, who gives a shit? There was more titles in this match than are in WWE, Dave Meltzer. Yeah, Sassy Gal, what's up? Yeah, and Thomas. I saw how they did Absolute Joker, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's just like a cringy version of like you guys have played Arkham or like read Arkham. There's like multiple, you know, I think there's like a Arkham mini movie and stuff. I just finished replaying Arkham Asylum, just finished all the challenges, finally moving on to Arkham City. And like it's like Joker on the Titan formula type shit. Like, okay, we've already seen that kind of, and it's just not my cup of tea, but whatever. If people like it, they like it. Mercedes Monea's running a shitta in a Blood and Gasa. And then she just walks out of the cage. So she just walks out of the cage. So what the fuck's the point of the cage? Is this shit's stupid. What the fuck? So you can just fucking leave the cage and enter it whenever you want. So you can just leave and enter the cages whenever you want. What's the point of the whole fucking...
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Complete and utter trash. Terrible. And then Mina comes in. Okay. She's awesome, but they're just like passing hands, and it was going okay. And so before this event, AEW Dynamite crowd got a caution that read, if you have a seat on the floor, you are at risk of being struck by persons, objects, barricades, and other items. Please be aware of the action as you are watching and moved out of the way if someone or something is coming your way. By staying in this area, you assume all risks of injury to yourself and to your property. What the fuck? Does that also, I need to tweet this out, does that also include children? Damn, that's fucked up, man. We'll go over that more too on like the next show. Well, no, we just talked about it here, I guess, but I just think that's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't need to. Maybe I'll just leave it in the bookmarks so we can, in case anything comes of it and we need to be reminded, you know? In case some kid gets fucking hit in the eyeball or something and we got to talk about this. It's just like, and I get it. People will jump on me. Oh, obviously their parents. It's their parents' discretion. But still, like, fuck yourself, you know? So you can just drag her out of the cage. So just the cage is meaningless. And then a bed of nails. This is fucking stupid. I don't get why Sky Blue... Or pardon me. I don't get why Sky Blue and Statlander and some of these girls do this shit. So they let Monet just walk out of the cage and then get back in. And then they also did a spot where Shafir doesn't go in the cage but drags a bitch out. And then it's just like, so then I don't know. I don't know, two of the variations of like, because like, let's be honest, man, you know Darby's gonna leave the cage and climb the fucking thing and jump off it or whatever. So they do two already in the first match of people leaving or being pulled out of the cage. It's just, this is terrible. So now it's locked because all the members are in the cage? What a fucking dumb, stupid rule. And then Marina's just no-selling. What was she hitting her with? Why is she no-selling that shit? And then Marina does like a shitty 619. It's when these wrestlers like Marina, no business being Monet, just a cringe lord. It's when these wrestlers like that are just overdoing shit. When they get in the match, it just goes to shit. It was totally fine when it was like Tekla, Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, like girls who are hungry for it. And then you get Monet, who's just a mark for herself and fucking. And then whatever the fuck Marina Shafir was doing, because Moxley's a mark for her. She could shoot, choke him out, and fucking MMA people are classically marks for themselves when they come into pro wrestling. And then it just turns to shit, man. And then, so the rule is you can just leave the fucking cage until the last person comes in, and then they lock the door and do pinfalls. Oh, okay. And then they're hyping up pinfalls count anywhere for Hobbs and Hangman. Why? Why pinfalls count anywhere? Why? You have two war games. You can't just have a singles match? Falls count anywhere. All garbage tonight. Now we have fucking glass. We have like hand dipped in glass punches, and Marina Shafir, she thinks she's in fucking what's the movie? Bloodsport? Oh man. Kickboxer, thank you, Huerta. Kickboxer is right. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. But that's absolutely correct. Dipping the hands in the glass and then fucking Bloodsport's Frank Dukes, where he gets blinded. He gets the shit thrown in his eyes. Damn. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Hot Shots, they're parodying all the action movies and that movie's brilliant. It's a bunch of 80s martial arts movies, yeah. Now get up to 4,000 total savings on Frontier. So now Shirakawa is just laying kicks in. Why is Tony Storm in whiteface? Good question. And notice how Bane is staying away from everything. Yeah, there's something about Bane that is going on where she doesn't have to do things, I don't think, that she doesn't want to do. And there's a sense of like she's always in the middle of these dramas, and like that weird shoot situation with Thunder Rosa where it's like, okay, so you sent Bane out there in case Thunder decided to shoot or something. Like, what? Why would you have sent her out there as like an enforcer almost? I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. I'm not here to start rumors. I haven't heard shit about that, but I find it quite peculiar. And yeah, she's not really getting any on her. Which good, don't. I mean, don't. But yeah. That's a good catch. Pointing that out there. Chat. Good on yous. So let's get into well, let's get through. We're gonna watch this match. Then we got tons of news and shit tonight. Okay, we got. Well, I wouldn't say tons, but just an adequate amount and a great sicko segment. You don't want to go anywhere. Hope everybody's getting in the Christmas spirit. We've already Christmas decorated around here. No tree yet. We're saving that. We do the tree just a little later after the other decorations. But yeah, I'm still watching Stranger Things. I'm like halfway done season 4. Excited for that 5th and final season coming up. Okay. So Sky Blue getting bounced off the cage there, getting power bombed off the cage as well now. Oh, onto a table that doesn't break. Oh, and then Hayter tries to elbow her through the table, and it barely breaks, and there's a pool of blood. And Sky Blue and Hayter can't go through those tables. I am the table. Was the crowd just chanting one more time as well? Christmas mode after Thanksgiving. Yeah, shout out Americans. But yeah, our Thanksgiving's in October, so for me it's like, yeah, November. We just get right into it. But yes, hey, why try says, well, Dave complained that she didn't jump again. The crowd is saying one more time. Yep, true dat. That's exactly it, man. That's why I said it too. He was just complaining about Rhodes. Where he didn't, or was it Rhodes? I forget what it was. Sorry, now I'm just mind farting here. Monet's getting confronted by her puppet, but yeah, Dave was like, oh, or it was Vaquer he was criticizing. So these ladies didn't do the table one more time. Dave won't fucking criticize that. Damn, what? CP, these chicks can just crawl out of the cage. It's fucking stupid. Damn. So now people are just getting out the cage. This is all pointless. Why have cages then? Why have cages? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Guys, we're about to tune out and start just doing news. Like, this is bullshit. And then they have a pay-per-view 10 days away. How about suck my dick? How about that? How about this shit has been trash now? Oh my god, dude. So they're just brawling all around the cage now. What a bunch of garbage, man. This is fucking so redacted. Yeah, they're going to scale it. So what are the guys going to do? What are the guys honestly going to do? They're going to burn each other with lit cigarettes and twist each other's nipples off or what? Like, and I'm not joking. Like, what are they going to climb the cage and leave the cage and do blood in a bed of nails? Seen it. Seen it all in the first match. And then Hangman and Hobbs are going to have a false count anywhere. Why? Why? Why have one? So they can go through tables and shit? Just seen it. Yeah, they're just doing every fucking thing you could ever do in a match. We're gonna, yeah. Okay, so there's some fake sugar glass. So a DDT on the glass. We're all crying rivers. There's a mirror that they got from Tony Khan's fucking hotel room. They got that mirror from Tony Khan's office. They got that mirror from Tony Khan's hotel room.
It's great.
And then Bane just, a superplex, no glass, no fucking, just the middle of the rings, right? Just no glass, no. So a figure four with a barbed wire bat in there. And then Shafir's breaking glass with her foot. But it's fake sugar glass. Then she stomped on Marina. Or on Mina, pardon me. Mina. So there's going to be an overrun. They already asked for more time, too. We already know, guys. So expect Hobbs and Hangman to go way longer than it should. We'll just do news through that because we know Hangman's just going to win. And then Joe's going to run out. There'll be a bunch of bullshit. And then it'll be blood and guts, too. So Tony Storm just quit after all that? Oh, man, this is such trash. This fucking show sucks every week. Oh, my God. She quit because she gets whipped with the belt after everybody was fucking crushing each other with glass and fucking bed of nails and all this shit. And it was 6v6. So why'd the music restart, man? This show fucking sucks. 2 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Rabid Wolverine Elsa Killer 17 for 2 says this match is garbage. 1 star. Yeah. And okay, guys, hit those likes. Doing with his thoughts with boots on the ground. A very special guest. I didn't anticipate this tonight. Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild. Yay!
Okay. Had to get some water. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Likes up for Jericho. Let's get into ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
And where's all the sickos crying about only 3 matches? Only 3 matches? Only 3? Fucking goddamn sickos. Okay, yeah. So let's get into this, guys. Here, let me hit that drop one more time for you. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. It is time for miscellaneous news. So WWE legend Kurt Angle. We know Wade. Wade, go away.
Bad news.
Wade, go away. Sky Blue's trending in Canada, by the way. WWE legend Kurt Angle steps back into the ring to defend the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's take a look here.
Legend representing the 6-time Super Bowl champs, and now he thinks that they can be AFC North champs. Angle, is that really true?
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Let's find out. Come on. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. We've dropped 7 out of 8 to these guys. We come up short against Pittsburgh more than we have in the playoffs. But
so he can't wrestle Cena's final match, but he can wrestle this J-Brone on behalf of the Steelers. God damn it,
we're better now. No, and I know we're bigger now. Wrestling loves royalty, and we're gonna make them put the crown on King Henry. Yeah. Now you see that? Look at that. Look at the core here. goes against them. Tell you what, Angle. In the sport. Splat. Tell you what, Angle. Your boys are going to learn what I call the 3 I's. Incompletion, interception, and intentional grounding. Time to
What the fuck, man? He's eating wrestling moves. What's going on? I thought he couldn't go.
Yeah. Get out of here. I'll give this to the Steelers. They will never quit, and neither of us will ever submit. So it comes down to this. Who's going to hit our finisher first? Come on! WrestleMania runs wild, or the belt stays in the beltway. This match is scheduled for one fall. Let's play some ball.
Jesus Christ, if we got that much out of Cena versus Kurt, I'd be happy. Speaking of like crossovers, though, we have another one here. Here, I don't know why this is in. Oh, yes. I thought we had another sports crossover. All good, though. So Nixon Newell noted on her Twitch stream that she will only be in professional wrestling for 1 more year. She says, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, this is my last 2 years in wrestling. We're already a year gone, so I want to have fun this last year. And then there's a massive brawl backstage on AEW Dynamite. It's blood and guts, 12 people in 2 matches, a false count anywhere with Hangman Hobbs. And then backstage, there's just a bunch of people brawling hardcore. Tony Khan's the worst booker of all time. Speaking of being poorly booked, Luke Menzies says he wasn't told what to work on during his last year in WWE. He said, I asked the questions. I said, is there anything I need to work on? When I got taken off TV, I was pitching ideas. One of the pitches was for me and Yoshiki Inamura to do a best out of 5 series. Listen, I'm not even going to read all this because Luke Menzies, you fucking negotiated down to 1 year. So they're not going to take any of your pitches. They're just going to steal your ideas and give it to people who are going to stay there for 3 years, which you weren't doing. And Rich Holland stated that WWE will be paying for his upcoming neck fusion surgery. So good for them. And he fucking slapped everyone in the face with that GoFundMe, kind of. Just putting it out there. So, speaking of being out there, Sonya Deville speaks on CJ Perry's Identity Crisis podcast and recalled pretending during a pretend NXT promo drill between Liv Morgan and Mandy Rose that turned into a real fight. So she said that she was supposed to be separating them with Aaliyah and Danielle Camella, but she felt punches whiz past her ear before hearing one of the girls say, so this is Mandy Rose and Liv Morgan getting in a real fight, and one of them's like, what, bitch? And then her partners bounce, leaving Deville in the middle of a scramble. She said the fight ended with Liv yelling, you pulled my hair, and Mandy yelling back, at least my hair is real, bitch. That's fucking funny. So Raven revealed that he has serious health battles after he kept them private. He reveals that he hid a heart attack from everybody. And that he also has like narcissistic personality disorder. He was officially diagnosed with something along those lines, right? But Joey Janela explodes. Speaking of ECW legends, Joey Janela explodes after accusations that he had a hand in Sabu's death. Now, Joey Janela famously wrestled Sabu's last ever match. A lot of people blamed him. They were like, dude, why'd you have him? They like, people were like, they drugged him up to get him down there or whatever. And so while speaking to Fightful, Joey Janela said that what you get in real life is a very cute, young, handsome boy who 100% didn't kill Sabu. Fuck you for saying that. Fuck you, because you could get hit by a bus. You could get in a fucking plane crash if you said that to me. Go get in a fucking plane crash and don't survive like the guy did in India. That sole survivor of that plane crash. What? The fuck you talking about? And don't survive like Flair. Die in the flames if you believe that I killed Sabu, or you listen to Jim Cornette or anyone saying whatever. That kratom is like 10 times as strong as fentanyl, and you have to snort it, inject it, and not drink it as a herbal tea that people drink every day to get off opiates. I don't know about it. I've never taken kratom in my life. I'm coming back to AEW tomorrow. I'm wrestling Kenny Omega and Okada in a 3-way match. When the fuck was this? Why do I feel like this is from... Oh, no, he's talking... Okay, he's talking like retrospectively. So he got the scoop now for me. I'm coming in to wrestle in the stadium. I'm winning both belts. Oh, he's just being sarcastic. Sorry. So I was like, did he ever even wrestle when Okada was there? I thought he was fired before. So he's just talking shit, making fun of like, here, run with this scoop. I'm going to win the belts, and I'm going to main event Hangman and Moxley in a 3-way match. I'm going to have both belts. I'm going to unify them. I don't know. Joey Janela, you should lay off the kratom or whatever the fuck you took before this interview, because I don't know what the fuck you're babbling about. But Michael Elgin. People, Ringside News talk about how Michael Elgin lost his TNA deal over accusations no one investigated. Now, he's reached out to a lot of dirt sheets and whatnot. Michael Elgin's even reached out to me. And people, like, I don't know. He just has, like, a long list of things. So I just think people, again, we talk about it all the time, benefit of the doubt. So, like, on the 7th accusation or whatever the fuck, it's hard to like give you the benefit of the doubt type shit. So, but either way, Elgin, like, you know, we covered it on the show. He leaked a bunch of DMs of him reaching out to like all these different sheets. So, let's read this from Ringside. I guess he talked to Duke on Duke Loves Wrestling again. Buddy. So Duke willing to platform people who others I don't think are, you know, some goobers in some senses. But during the interview, Elgin went claim by claim, breaking down the 3 accusations that surfaced in 2020 and how he responded in real time. He also revealed that Impact Wrestling originally promised to back him, then quietly paid out his contract and move on to avoid social media backlash. The first allegation came from a 2016 incident where Elgin admits he sent a woman an unsolicited explicit photo. According to him, it was the result of a drunken dare while out with fellow wrestlers. We were drunk and they're like, you can't be messaging girls. I dare you to send her a dick picture. So I literally Googled a dick picture and sent it to her. Not saying that's justified. It's stupid. Okay, so that's one. And he admits. Despite apologizing immediately after and again years later, the incident resurfaced online in 2020. I 100% agree that I was wrong in that, but unless I was just spamming people with pictures, that's not a cancelable offense. No, here's the problem. You don't get to dictate what's a cancelable offense. That's the people dictate that, right? So, and this whole, like, sending dick pics. Jesus Christ. And I don't believe he Googled a dick pic either. If guys say that, I don't believe that. You sent your shit. I apologize then, or unless maybe you can prove it. You can do like the Google search or whatever with the image, but I apologize then again in 2020. That was 2016, not a pattern. The second claim accused Elgin of attempted assault in 2011. So we're talking claims that go back a decade plus. 13 years and shit, whatever the fuck. 15 years, wherever the fuck we're at. My IR math, right? And so there's an attempted assault and an unsolicited dick pic. And then the speaking out movement, people wanted to get rid of people who had shit, like sketchy shit in their past, and people went after them and whatnot. So it got resurfaced, but nonetheless. So he attempted assault in 2011. The woman claimed so assault on a woman and allegedly, this is all alleged, but initiated contact while she was asleep in a shared bed during an ROH taping. Elgin says that's not how it happened and that there were multiple witnesses in the room to prove it. We all came in from a night out. She was getting into the bed and I said, hey, do you want to have sex? She said, no. I said, okay. I should have picked up someone from the bar anyway and went to bed. What? He acknowledged the comment was immature and classless. So here's the thing. But rejected the serious label other tries to attach to it. So here's the thing, right? He keeps acknowledging like, well, this was bad, but then shit keeps happening though. Like, at what point? These are like incidences that are 5 years apart and then 4 years later resurfaced. Have you not learned? Or whatever the fuck, right? Like, I get what he's trying to say. Well, they're all far apart from each other. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, there's lots of people, like the majority of people don't have dick pic situations arise. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to understand, like, the perception on that. And then he acknowledged, okay, he said, try and portray that as anything more vile, like attempted essay. And that's true. I mean, if he's just like saying some egotistical shit, but again, he's like, there's multiple witnesses in the room. Where have any of them stepped forward then? Like how come you're just saying this thing that nobody else has come out and backed up? That's what I'm interested in, I guess, right? Because it's like, you're saying there's a bunch of people in the room, so you said that in front of a bunch of people, and like, oh, I should have just grabbed someone from the bar and brought them back or whatever, but I just went to bed. I agree. If that is the God's honest 100% what happened, but we don't know, though. No one was in there, or you're saying other people were, then they have to come out and vouch for you. Otherwise, it's just he said, she said. And she said that you tried pulling shit on her when she was asleep, and you're saying that you just asked politely if you want to bang, and then she rejected you, so you made a snide remark or whatever the fuck. So again, it's just he said, she said. So it's like, we can only believe you as much as the next person, unless, you know. So that's incredibly ignorant and misplaced. There were real victims in that movement, bloodied lips, emergency room visits, but you're going to say this is in the same category? It's disgusting. I mean, that's fair, but if he's referring to the speaking out movement, it's a spectrum, right? Like, I mean, it's like assaulting someone. If I just walked up to someone and I kept poking them on the shoulder, and I kept poking them and kept poking them and kept poking them, and I'm not hurting them, but I'm annoying them and I'm causing them physical discomfort, that's assault. Just like if I walked up and punched them one time in the face is assault. Now, there's varying degrees. You have to look at it case by case, but like, I'm not saying that's assault, brother, but I'm just saying that, like, yeah, when everyone is like being called out for fucking weirdo shit they did, and you have a couple weirdo stories, then those are going to come to light. And again, it's not me trying to choose sides. I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt to maybe people who felt victimized or other sides of stories that Duke isn't going to interview the fucking chick that this happened to. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. So this is all like wrestler clout. That's what this is about. So it's disgusting. And so the third accusation involved a woman Elgin briefly dated. Now, again, someone you dated. So we have someone you worked with, and then we have some other girl you were hitting up. So someone you worked with who knew you in a work capacity, we're on the road, we'll share a bed capacity, said you creeped. Okay. So that's one type of relationship. There's another person who you were just hitting up on the side and you sent an unsolicited dick pic or whatever. So that's a whole other different type of relationship. Now, someone you straight up dated, like was your girlfriend, was your boo thing. Okay, was your girlfriend now also has a story. Whoa, those are three completely, these aren't like, this isn't like a rock star with three groupies who are like, hey man, this guy fucking, and the shit with Jordan Grace, where there's stuff about Jordan Grace wanted to bang him and all this shit. You guys remember that? So it just seems like there's some like toxic shit between this dude and women going on. You guys understand why I wouldn't touch this, right? You guys just look up Michael Elgin. He's responded to a bunch of my tweets and shit. You guys would understand why I'm like, I don't know. I'm cool. I'm over here now, right? Like, I don't need wrestlers on my show that bad. You know what I mean? No offense, but it's like, so here's a girlfriend now involved a woman Elgin briefly dated. She accused him of emotional manipulation. Now, again, emotional manipulation is not SA. Like, everyone's adults. If you can vote, if you can join the military, if you can smoke a cigarette, get a beer, gamble, go to war or whatever the fuck, woman or man, you're old enough. You have agency. If you get manipulated and sucked into a cult, I mean, you got to take some onus on that. If you get, like you're an adult, like people make choices. It's like, oh, we'll see. I don't know the details. I wasn't dating either of them, but it's like they emotionally manipulated me. Okay, maybe this one, but is that the way he's phrasing it though? Right? Like, I don't know the ins and outs of the story, but it just seems, I don't know, man, 3 strikes, you're kind of out. I don't know if it's, right? Anyways, so claiming he led her on, called her fat and cheated. I mean, that's not good, bro. Why date someone if that's what you did? But again, that's her story. Let's hear his story. Elgin said the two were never officially dating and that he was upfront the entire time about his emotional availability after separating from his wife. Okay, fair enough. Maybe he got roped into some shit and she was more attached than him. Trying to be fair here. So how did I cheat on you if we weren't in a relationship? I told her I wasn't ready for anything serious. She didn't like that and spun it into a sob story. I shared all the texts where she apologized. Okay. Maybe vindicated. Now when I'd have to read the text, but once something's online, nobody cares about proof. Don Callis told me we're going to fight for you. The company's going. See, we covered this all on this show already, but Don Callis told me we're going to fight for you. The company's going. So a guy that again has some has had unfavorable stories and accusations float around about him. Again, this is all allegedly. This is South Park, actually. Everything's allegedly. Made up. It don't matter, right? It's like, whose line? I'm lying right now. This is all just made up people, and I'm not even real. All right? It's all allegedly. So, he goes, I don't know. I just said I don't want to risk social media hating on them for clearing me. So instead, they paid me the remainder of my 3-year deal and sent me home. That's what TNA did. No investigation, nothing. He says, I was supposed to go to NOAA in 2021. I gave them everything for the work visa. When I didn't hear back, I contacted them and they told me TNA canceled me without telling me. No, hold on. How does TNA cancel you? TNA canceled me. What does that mean? Right? This is the problem, too. It's like the Joey Janela thing. What is cancel culture? It's like Chris D'Elia and these guys. Oh, I'm canceled. Here's my Netflix special after I was canceled from everywhere. I don't know, man. I don't think it's like canceled. You're not. It's just like they just don't want to get any on them. Like they don't want to risk. It's becoming a liability perhaps at this point, or they need some. Like, especially when each accusation is years apart, that's showing like a habitual, what shit is not surfaced over the years that we didn't see is all people can think. Again, the benefit of the doubt. So the proof in that one instance, okay, maybe your girlfriend covered for you, or your ex-girlfriend or ex-situationship or whatever covered for you, or not covered for you. I guess that's not the correct way to put this. Like, vindicated you in that instance, I guess. Maybe I'd have to read those texts again or see them in general. I don't think I've ever even seen them, but anyways, I contacted them and they told me TNA canceled me without telling me. As far as the ongoing rumors that he was accused of things like physical abuse or assault, he says that internet fiction that spiraled far beyond the original accusations. People tweet at me, don't you physically abuse women? Don't you SA women? But I was never accused of that, not once. People just saw the word accused and ran with it. I didn't lay low. I sued people. I posted the evidence. I've said from day one, if anyone has something real, take me to court, but they never do. They just post online and disappear. Fair enough, man. If that's the truth, then look, I'm not perfect. I've said things I regret. I've done dumb stuff, but I'm not the villain they made me out to be. And I've always stood up for myself with proof. That's something I'll never apologize for. Yeah, so I mean, nothing new there. We covered all of that on the show, but we never really got his like perspective, I guess, of him saying like, well, for this accusation, here's my excuse. For this one, here's my rebut. For this one, it wasn't even real. We just seen him sort of post text and get messy and stuff. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll be welcome back. He's expressed things to me like he doesn't give a fuck and he doesn't care. Like his time's come and gone, and he's not trying to get booked anywhere or booked again. He just wants the truth to be out there, I guess. But it's like, that's fair. But if you're not trying, like, why is Joey Ryan doing what he's doing if not for him trying to get back into wrestling? Why would you care and go on like a wrestling show then if it wasn't like a plea at wrestling? It's an interesting story, I suppose. But I'm just not sure what the angle is then if it's not like trying to get back booked somewhere or like be vindicated by who? Wrestling fans? They just told you to go away and you did, and that's, so yeah. I'm not sure. When we looked it up though, wasn't there like more things than just the 3 things? I think when we looked it up, there was like more things that just weren't involved with like women, but they were like, I might be entirely wrong about that. Let me ask Grok, and Grok isn't always correct, but let's just say, let's just see. So Elgin was accused of ignoring or downplaying a female fan's claim that one of his wrestling students essayed her. The accuser stated she informed Elgin, this is according to PW Torch, but she allegedly advised her not to pursue it publicly and continued working with the student. Several independent promotions, including Smash Wrestling and Limitless Wrestling, canceled his appearances in response. Elgin denied wrongdoing, claiming he encouraged her to go to the police, and some fans defended him, arguing the accuser had a history of similar claims. Okay, that's on Reddit. This also tied into backlash over private comments Elgin made criticizing tag partner Jeff Cobb's work ethic. Nah, I don't think that's real. Yeah, see, Grok is all fucky. You can't trust Grok. So there was a 2021 arrest for violating a protective order. In 2022, Elgin was questioned. Some sources said arrested in Japan over a gym dispute involving supplements, gear, rumors of theft, and deportation circulated. He denied arrest, claiming it stemmed from breaking up a fight and bringing his own equipment. This led to missing Noah shows and vacating tag titles. So he said he got canceled by TNA, and so he missed Noah shows. But meanwhile, and maybe he did criticize Cobb, I don't know. But meanwhile, it was because he got arrested for a fight in Japan. So this is what I mean. It just seems as though there's more than meets the eye, Brian, when it comes to this. And you can always get one side of the story, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. Giselle Shaw. NWA, the quintessential diva, Giselle Shaw makes her NWA debut at NWA Power on Roku Live. Let's take a look at her promo.
Attention, attention. I have some exciting news. I am so elated to tell you that I, the quintessential diva, the head of the Commonwealth realm, Giselle Shaw, will be making my NWA debut on December 13th in Tampa, Florida. And I'm really looking forward to shaking things up a little bit.
Nice. I bet that music's going to get me sniped. So former WWE wrestler Ralph Mosca passes away at only 55, man. Terribly sad. Best wishes out to him and to his family, rather. Natalia Markova has won the NWA World's Women Championship. Speaking of NWA, Kenzie Page's reign comes to an end at 720 days. He defeated Natty Neidhart, but Markova comes in. The Russian Dynamo.
That's not enough. That nose is not enough. Oh, the fourth beautiful destruction. The double underhook. The DDT.
A DDT. Hell yeah, good for her, man. Good for NWA putting on some shows. Priscilla Kelly claims she was bullied to the point of being self-deletionable in WWE. And let's read this here from Ringside News. Shout out Ringside News with all the hot goss. The TMZ before TMZ, which we're going to talk about in a bit. She said that she kind of went through this, and shout out Denise Salcedo, who this is where the quote's pulled from. I kind of went through this down period of I hate my life. I'm collecting a paycheck. I'm just hoping someday I can get back to who I am and the performer that I am. Back into the man I used to be. And as soon as I started to feel, as soon as I started to feel like I was myself again, I tore my meniscus. I've got a lot going on in my personal life on top of everything else. Both of my parents have a lot of issues, and my dad's been in prison for the last 4 years. He actually just got out this past weekend. I'm dealing with my little brother that is going through hell, and he's on his own. And my mom's got all kinds of issues. My dad's locked up. I have a lot of personal stuff going on. The pressure of WWE is a lot. There just was a lot of pressure those first 2 years because I was new and I came from the indies. There was a lot that they were trying to beat out of me. There was just stuff going on behind the scenes. I don't want to bring it up because I know it'll blow up and then it'll become a whole thing. But let's just say some people were very, very, very not nice to me to the point that I was deletionable for a little bit, but I was really going through it. Once I got out of that, I would say in the beginning of 23, I started doing main events on the main roster and stuff. And that's when I really felt like, okay, this is who I am and this is the kind of wrestling I like to do. Yeah, I wonder who was bullying. It seemed like the generation before, there was a bit of a Mean Girls Club going on. And then that sort of has been, a lot of those folks were released or whatever. Priscilla Kelly discussed the misconception that every talent under the WWE umbrella makes a lot of money. He says she makes more money now than in NXT. I 100%. When it comes to Cross, I don't know if him and Scarlett combined are making more money than they did. But when it comes to Kelly, for sure. And like Shotzi, I believe it for sure. She's like, there's contracts as low as $30K a year. And they did not go as high as you think. You have to live in Florida, which is very expensive to live there, having to pay for new gear all the time and all these expenses and taking care of your body and all these little things. It all adds up. At the end of the day, especially because you can't make money outside of what you make in WWE, you don't make a lot. But with that being said, with all of my work, all the bookings I've been taking, I arguably think I actually make more than I did in NXT now, which is wild for people to comprehend. Speaking of former WWE, foreclosure notice on his home led to Ridge Holland's WWE Twitter rant. So while he was in WWE, he was already fucking up. While he was in WWE, he was getting foreclosures on his fucking house. Because listen, this is why I break it down that way. When he wasn't being renewed / released, right? It wasn't that long until he started tweeting out, "Fuck, what the fuck." Only a couple months. If your house is getting foreclosed on, that shit is 6 months to a year in the making, brother. Like, that's like 6 months ago you made some fucking decisions where shit went around. You know what I mean? To get foreclosed on and shit. There's some shit brewing for months that is so again. And that's what made him go off on WWE. WWE's paying for his next fusion. There you go. On the Wrestling Classic podcast, Ron Simmons confirmed he and Ahmed Johnson have made amends after being asked about a recent photo of them together. So there you go, man. Ron Simmons and Ahmed Johnson squashed their beef. That fucking rules. And that's good to see. So speaking of ruling and owning, David Otunga was on TMZ. They'll rule you. And he had this to say on TMZ Inside the Ring. David Otunga tells the story about sandbagging the Great Khali on purpose because he didn't want to take his two-handed chokeslam. And then David Otunga says he killed someone in OVW with that by accident.
You what?
And wasn't there rumors like, didn't Great Khali kill a guy in Minecraft in pro wrestling? Like, isn't that a real thing? Or that's at least the gimmick they worked for him. But either way, let's hear Otunga's rendition of this story. And then Jim Cornette claps back, and then TMZ responds to Jim.
Khali had another finisher, and it was like this two-handed choke slam. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but he killed somebody with that in OVW by accident.
I forgot about OVW.
Oh my gosh, you're
I was well aware of that. Right?
yeah, of
So
course.
during this loop, he's already busted my eye open. And now he decides, hey, let's do a different finish tonight. I want to give, I don't even know what he called it, the two-head choke slam. And I was like, ain't that the death move? No, Kali, I think I'm good. And he's like, no, we want to do this. And I told him, I don't take it well. I just don't really want to do it. And
you beat the Baldo Bob, dude. You were scared to take the Baldo Bob.
I told our agent, who was Arn Anderson, and actually, Khalid tried to tell on me. And he told Arn Anderson, Tonga's scared. He's scared to take the move. So Arn comes to talk to me, and I said, I'm not scared. I said, well, actually, I am. I don't know if I trust this.
Yeah.
So Arn said, I'll tell you what, kid. And he's like, one time somebody asked me to do a move that I didn't want to do. And he said, I did it so terrible, they never asked me to do it again.
That's funny.
I said, oh, all right. So we went out there. I told Kali, all right, fine, I'll do it. We did the match. We went for that thing. I hardly jumped. He barely got me up. It looked awful.
Oh,
it looked awful.
Yeah.
Said he had to use the chop anyway. Did I sandbag him on purpose? You're absolutely right. Wow. So then I came back through the curtain. I'll never forget. And Arn Anderson was right there. And he goes, I see you took my advice, kid. Yep. We never did that again.
That's smart.
Wow, that is.
Right?
That's smart
What
to
did
do it
Khalid
that
do
way.
after that?
He just gave me the chop. No,
Was he okay with it? Like, was he mad at you?
He thought I just sucked. He thought I just took it bad. I don't care. Yeah, I let him think that. Hey, man, you can think I sucked. I don't care. But hey,
You're alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So Jim Cornette says wrong. Wrestling school by about 2,300 miles, dipshit. Nobody was ever killed, paralyzed, or allowed to dive off balconies in OVW. And the great Khali, nor any other lesser Khali, ever attended OVW. TMZ needs to fact check their programming. And then this did get fact checked, dude. The incident didn't happen at OVW. It was at an APW training session in 01. It was a botched flapjack that caused the trainee's death. And Khali did kill the guy, I guess, in Minecraft. God damn.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
So Jim Cornette with the smackdown on Otunga and TMZ, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So we have TNA news, WWE news. We might get to some sickos tonight. Ricky Steamboat's out there. And again, is Ricky Steamboat, like, remember when FTR would get paraded out there in WWE to, like, take the Legends moves and shit? If they get beat up by Flair and Steamboat, and also Flair's not there for some reason, even though they said he was going to be. And the show's supposed to be done, I believe, in half hour. And we still have a 1 hour long Blood and Guts. So what the fuck, man? This show has been not so good. You got Macho Man's phone number, he says. Ladies and gentlemen, hit like, hit subscribe, super chat in, gift a membership so that those who don't have memberships these holiday seasons can enjoy bonus shows, weekly bonus shows. They're only 99 cents. And yeah, check out patreon.com/prowrestletimes. Those are my shillings, okay? And you want to get on Patreon. Thank you guys for being here. It's a weird watch-along news Wednesday edition of PWT Live Show, but it's all good. Usually, like, I remember the early on Wednesday shows, we were locked in for a lot of Dynamite, but I can't believe they're wasting this much time. They should have just not done Hangman Hobbs. They shouldn't have had the brawl backstage, or they should have just done one or the other, and then they should have done just this segment. Should have just been this segment with Flair involved somehow, and then just the two Blood and Guts matches. In WWE 2K25 just dropped that new pack with like Sid. I haven't got to use any of them yet. I just installed it, but there's like Sid Justice, Tito Santana, Arriba, and who else? Jesse the Body. I'm in the video game, but I exited the company. Well, why don't you tell me why I left? Why don't you tell me how they de-aged me? The de-aging technology. The de-aging technology. They made me look younger. So Jesse the Body, who else? JYD. Ho. And I'm missing one. Sid Justice, JYD, Jesse the Body. Motherfucker, when do you guys play 2K? I know. I'm just brain farting on it. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. That's what it is. Ricky. I hope Ricky the Dragon whips his bitch ass. Where's Flair? Wasn't Flair supposed to be here? Woo!
Sometimes discretion's a better part of valor. Sometimes when you realize that it's going to be 73.
So Steamboat saying he's going to be 73. He's not asking or begging for any kind of sorrow or forgiveness. So he's going to walk away.
Give it up for Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat.
Are they going to spike pile drive him? So then they have Brodito run out to save him. And the dogs are barking for Brody King. This is so... And so they're really running with like Brodito as a team still, huh? And do you notice the extension on the ring that they have? Okay, I mean, that was all right. Dynamite is 2.5 hours tonight. It was announced last week. Yeah. It was even before then. We talked about it on the show before then because the local paper or whatever reported how long the event would be, and we talked about it. Yeah, so we knew this one was going to go long, but are they going to give it an hour? Like 2.5, but does that mean 2:45? Because Tony Khan's done that. He's done overruns on the extension, on the extended time. So just strap in tonight, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of strap-ins, get your country banjos ready, because it is time for... I have no idea how the banjo became the drop for TNA news. How long ago? I was like, I need a jingle. I think Julia Gulia just sent me this. I was like, here's a little banjo strum, you know? But yeah, here you go. TNA news. We're going to switch this picture up as well eventually here as the invasion sort of subsided. But Jody Threat comments on backstage dynamics at TNA wrestling events featuring WWE talent. She says, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page in saying that it's a positive thing. I think it's a great thing. Not only are we being able to bring it to a wider audience, sometimes when you were in a locker room, you're working with the same people, and now we're throwing in a bit of spice that I love. I love experiencing different varieties of wrestlers. For me personally, I think it's great. It's allowing me to grow. It's allowing me to work with other girls. It's allowing different eyes on me, and everyone that has come into the Knockouts locker room have been kind, respectful, etc. So there you go. You get the vibe. You understand what it is. So TNA is partnering with Qatar Pro Wrestling for the largest project in the history of both companies in 2026. And Mustafa Ali, Carlos Silva, Matt Cardona, they're all tagged in this. So obviously something big is going down between QPW and TNA. So we'll keep an eye on that. TNA World Champion Mike Sandana celebrates 1,000 days clean and sober. So I'm like that Kiss song. I'm like Detroit Rock City. First I drink and then I smoke. That's like me, okay? But hey, if you need to be 100% clean and sober, if you're like a CM Punk guy, or you've been to the rock bottom and you're like, I just can't do shit because otherwise I'll fly off the wheel. I support you wholeheartedly if you go, if you got to straight edge it up. It's good. 1,000 days clean and sober, turned his life around, world champion. Look at him now. Look at him, dude, crushing it. And it's so good to see. And he's going to be in WWE one day. Like, we already know that. They're already interested in him. They're going to bring his ass in. Doesn't matter what age he's at. And he could go to the main roster, I think, right away. I don't think he even needs NXT. He could go main roster immediately and get in the mix with, like, that Intercontinental title division or that maybe even the U.S. title scene, shake it up a little bit. I'm not saying, like, tomorrow, but, hey, I don't know how long he signed to TNA, but Santana rules. Speaking of ruling, TNA Final Resolution is only set up for 2,100 tickets, and they've distributed 1,100. Man, I was really hoping that their next pay-per-view would be more like 4,000 or 5,000 after BFG did. Like, we're going to talk about it in just a moment, but BFG's getting all this heat, and TNA's people are trying to dunk on TNA because the turnstile count came out. And it was about 1,000 tickets they comped or whatever. Just like we talked about on the show. I already was there. I already beat everybody. All the dirt sheets. I was fucking here talking about this first. Broke it down impeccably because what came out is exactly what I said. Okay? 8,000 tickets. Let's say you sell 7,500. You paper it. So it's not even papering it. You comp 1,000 tickets. It's not really an L. Let's say WWE over the weekend does 2 or 3 events and they sell 45,000 tickets, and 3,000 to 5,000 of those tickets over the weekend were comped. Okay, that's maybe like 3,000 to 5,000. Damn, that's pushing it, but it's not even really an L. If AEW does one show and they build it up, it's our WrestleMania all in, right? And it does 18,000 or whatever the fuck, and then they say it did 23,000 or 25,000 or whatever the number is. That's kind of an L, okay? Let's be fucking honest here. It's not like, oh, they did 3 events, so there's 3K comped because 1,000 were comped for each night or some shit, like, you can't even play that game with AEW. It's just they fucking did one event, less than 20K showed up. People are trying to say closer to 25K showed up. It's like, that's an L. So with TNA, it's like, yeah, I bet they gave away 1,000 tickets. Who doesn't? Everyone papers. Everybody lies about the number a little bit, right? Carney's going to Carney, but it's just funny that it's exactly what I said was going to happen, and then people were just sickoing out. But what I predicted would happen that didn't happen was I thought their pay-per-views would be doing stronger. I'm not going to lie. And some of these dynamites now are hitting like, okay, 3,000 tickets again. They're kind of bouncing back a little bit. As far as like, again, what's a bounce back? They were doing like, AEW was doing like 1,100, 1,200 residency. Like there was a little bit there where they were fucking up. Now they're doing shows with like, we just went over all the ticket sales. Like some of them are bad, but 2,700. Okay. 4,000 again. Okay. That's good for AEW with TNA. And yes, we're comparing TNA to AEW now. I'm not even going to get in that discussion. SmackDown's back doing like, I think I have one bookmark. They're doing like 7 or 8K attendance again. It's like, exactly. It doesn't, this is just like a little dip. People buying Christmas presents or whatever. But yeah, I was hoping that TNA pay-per-views would bounce back, but Bound for Glory, they got hit with the turnstile count. WrestleNomics reports that they sold at least 5,554. TNA announced 7,794. Public record shows 6,137 tickets scanned. So, okay, 6,000. So the attendance was 6,100 plus whatever people came in through back doors and fucking worked there, whatever. They announced 7,700. They inflated by 500 people or some shit so that they could say we broke the record and what a night. Okay, Carney's Carney. Who gives a shit? Do that for every AEW show. Tony Khan got pissed that shows like this one played that video of Lance Archer and shared that video around of them just handing out tickets. We know how many they gave away for All in Texas. Texas B. So more like Texas toast, am I right? Because that market's all dried up for them, right? I'm a hack. So TNA Bound for Glory actual attendance. Dave couldn't wait to report that. So TNA says premium seating, started room, guests and their staff are also included in the announced figure. Okay. So it's like, who cares? There was about 8,000 people there. Awesome. Good for them. Just like AEW, whatever the fuck, all in. There was about 20,000 people there. That's rounding muy high for them. But it's like, okay, yeah, 18, 19,000, good for them. Everybody's going to inflate the numbers, keep the same energy. Freak out when AEW does this. At least Thurston's called it out. But it's all about perception. Perception is key. Perception is king. That's why nobody's interested in Yuta versus Allen, because you just don't perceive them as top guys, right? And we talk about perception all the time on this show. Don't we, chat? Don't we, PWT Universe? So this is how things were perceived by none other than Chris Jericho, ladies.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
And then you gone wild, oh yeah! The GOAT, Chris Jericho, says that TNA looked like the second biggest wrestling company in the world at Bound for Glory and compares it to Dynamite at the ECW arena. And bro, all I'm saying, like, this hurt Tony Khan's feelings.
The best guys,
dude.
Tony Khan.
And that Jericho was.
You just made the list.
Actually, no, he was like,
Stupid idiot.
I'm going back to the Fed. Yeah, you've gone wild. Ta-ta. And he's like, the crowd looked huge. It looked huge. It was like a WWE level crowd. The place was packed. I was watching this and not saying anything out of school here, but comparing it to watching Dynamite when they were at the ECW arena, which looked like a Tony Condello taping. Sorry, it did. TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world. And that was amazing. Bro, he fucking roasted Tony Khan, dude. Oh, you roasted AW. Tone, are you going to stand for that? Are you going to stand for that?
Not fake!
God damn it. But Jericho just keeping it real about AEW and compare to TNA, and that's what we compare it to, folks, from here on out. Just what it must be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA News. Yeah, Orange Cassidy's coming out. Let's just keep the ball rolling. Let's just get into some Federation news, WWF news, Worldwide Wrestling Federation news. Chris McCarty for 2 says, I'd rather watch Larry King box Ali than AEW. Oh, shit. Ali now. I'd rather watch Larry King and Ali now box each other now than watch this fucking... No. Listen, the women's War Games went awesome until Monet got in the match. And then it was just like, okay, it turned... And then Shafir comes in, and then it just got goofy and silly and stupid. I'm just being perfectly honest. This one, they're starting with Yuta and Cassidy, and like, you might as well bring Garcia out there next. Like, people don't give a shit about this. I gotta be honest. And what's the point of the cage when people can just walk in and out of it? Some of the ladies in the girls' match are bigger than the guys we're looking at in the ring right now. They could just crawl out through the hole like fucking Julia did, or whatever. Okay, let's get into Federalis news, ladies and gentlemen. Since we're just e-drones, WWE has reportedly never really cared about the Women's United States title. Per Sean Ross Sapp, its introduction was a hastily made decision. Following Chelsea Green and Mitchen's non-title feud, the outlet notes that on the Raw side, Becky Lynch willed the women's IC title into relevance. When the U.S. title was created, it was done with no significant creative plans. Yeah, we can tell. So speaking of plans, Shinsuke Nakamura was, and this is Dave Meltzer. Who knows if we can believe Dave Meltzer all the time. He says Nakamura was interested in doing it. Except I don't know what happened, but there's a lot of stories going around. No, there's none. I remember asking about it at the time from WWE. You mean like 2 weeks ago when that became a story? At the time. From WWE, they just said there's no deal, but he does have something in his contract that he can do stuff, but WWE still have to approve it. So basically, Nuge couldn't get the deal done, and then Dave's trying to just be like, well, WWE didn't approve it. He's trying to just like put heat on WWE. No, Tony probably begged and humped Tanahashi-san's leg until he fucking agreed to not let it be Shinsuke and let it be Okada. Please, I beg of you, Tanahashi-san, please, Ichini-san da. I thought it was Ichini-san da forever. I guess not. This was great, but now it's not great. So moving along, El Paso, Texas proclaims November 18th, Eddie Guerrero Day. Viva la raza. Hell yeah, dude. So in El Paso, it's Eddie Guerrero Day, November 18th. One of the fucking goats, one of my all-timers. One of my all-timers is Eddie G, man. Moving along here. WWE talent were befuddled by the entire situation around Ridge Holland's exit, from Luke Menzies having financial issues after years in WWE, and his house got foreclosed on before his release. Not even before his release. So it happened after his release, but it's like, it was like a month before you started saying shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like bro, that was in motion way before. We covered it earlier on the show. I'm not going to harp on it, but to him being told, and again, Raj, no offense to anybody out there or to anybody, because listen, I was critical of Raj's take when we covered this and him commenting on it. But I did say, unless Raj knows something we don't. And hey, Raj sort of, that's all I'm saying. And I'm sorry if that offends people by me pointing that out, but Raj, he seemed to be on point there with that one. Let's be honest. He was like, man, this guy's bad with money. Well, if this house was getting foreclosed, it's tough. You don't want anyone with kids to be like down and out. Again, chat was saying it like, adult better, bro. You know what I mean? And like, it does suck. And, we're all grinding and grifting away here. We're all rolling up our sleeves and getting to work every day the best we can, man. And everybody is different tribes and tribulations. People are in, people are in different classes though. And you were making six figures. All of us would fucking kill for six figures, like everyone, So it's like, I don't know what happened there, dude, but the foreclosure definitely, you were in WWE when that was sort of set in motion. So emotions running high for him. Maybe that's also why these criticisms sort of come to light, and that's why he like kiboshed the fucking GoFundMe. But after everyone used it as like a virtue signaling tool, he just kind of slapped all of them in the fucking face. That's for sure. It's a mess. It's unfortunate that he's in the news for this, in pro wrestling news for this shit, instead of like him getting out there and getting to work and reinventing himself in the indies or in Japan or some shit. You know what I'm saying? There was allegedly, and this is according to Elbu. All right, so take this with like a whole fucking cup of salt here, okay?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And listen to Elbu's Dave Meltzer vernacular here, starting to speak like his daddy Dave. So apparently there's backstage concern with WWE about putting Roman Reigns and Rhodes on screen together. What happens if they're in the War Games together? What the fuck are you talking about? There are people within WWE that believe that somebody involved does not want Roman and Cody to be on the same screen unless they can teed to a match that they're going to deliver on. There are people within WWE that believe. So the fucking janitor could believe in fairies and pixies and Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here, dude? Someone there saying that I can't be on screen with Cody Rhodes or vice versa, and I can't be on screen with Roman unless we get this match going. The bottom line of this, there's some concern there about that. About the idea of, do you really want to put them on screen? Make the fans want to see the match again, and then you can't do the match? Right now, Cody and Roman is not scheduled. There's a lot of hurdles there. Meanwhile, Hughesy's coming on here and saying, well, they're clearly doing Orton Rhodes at Mania. And if they can't do that, then Jacob Fatu
allegedly
is someone that they want to get in the mix with Rhodes. We can see clearly, which I told you guys, well, Drew and Rhodes want to work together, and they're going to have a long program here with wins and losses and maybe some tag scenarios. I said all this a while ago. Look what's going on TV right now. Okay, so as far as them being baby faces together on screen, there's some concern, or is it just something that they've said, hey, there's money in that, let's wait to pull the trigger on that? And then, so, like, who's telling Elbu that they're worried about having that? It's just like, yes, it's just this is nothing out of the ordinary. This is part of like dealing with creative shit every week. I don't know, man. He's just using Dave vernacular. So he's got some like goofball stooge in WWE who, again, all the stooges are saying fake shit to the dirt sheets. They've been instructed to. So, and speaking of WWE, AEW is pulling a WWE by having an injury and then throwing a random in there in his place for Mark Briscoe, which is what they'll likely do. And that's an old WWE trope that sickos love to hate on. But either way, Ridge Holland, in other news, and this is a good headline from Ridge, because he would know. He was there backstage. He was part of the Brawling Brutes. He knows what's up. And again, we've talked about on this show, Triple H guys. We've pointed out Pete Dunne is one of those. Him and Tyler Bate will always have fucking jobs in WWE because Triple H picked them and he loved WWE UK. And this doesn't get talked about enough. When the speaking out shit went down that we talked about earlier in the show, Triple H got punished. Vince McMahon like reprimanded him because of some of those UK connects out there. Okay, even like Jack Gallagher and that El Ligero guy. I think that was his name, El Ligero or whatever. He like some of these guys got called out. A lot of that was in the UK scene. Okay, Marty. There's a bunch of names. Will Ospreay caught heat for defending people and shit. A lot of names in the UK scene. That's what really got NXT UK closed down. Okay, and that's why there's sort of heat between McMahon and Triple H. I mean, it's still, it's still his father-in-law, but there people say, oh, there's a bit of heat there. It's because there is. When the Vince shit came out, pun intended, and I fucking said this before, but I'm going to beat this dead horse one more time in case there's anybody new listening. When Vince McMahon got in trouble for the shit he did, Triple H was like, what the fuck, man? Like you went you went hard on me like I did speaking out shit. I didn't do none of that shit, but like the UK scene, it got kind of wrapped up in that. That's when 2.0 came about. But Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are the two guys that they chose to like lead fucking NXT UK with, So he's a Triple H guy through and through. We talk about them all the time. Bronson Reed is one, DIY are a couple of them. A lot of these guys. So that's why you're seeing them get pushes and TV time because their era sort of got skipped when Vince, with COVID and Vince not really giving up power and all that weird situation that happened for a few years in WWE there. Anyways, let's fast forward. Whip, 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 whip. Rich Holland says that Pete Dunne is probably one of, if not the best minds he's ever come across. And he says he will be Triple H's right-hand man behind the scenes. So we already know that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are the El Grandes. So they're just like, fuck it. I don't need to be Pete Dunne or Tyler Bate. And let's face it, those gimmicks weren't really working. The Brawling Brutes were cool. But the El Grande is, all that shit's fun. But we also know Dunn's producing behind the scenes now. He's starting to produce matches and whatnot. So, now Ridge, a guy who was back there every week to week, he would know. He's friends with Pete Dunne. And he's like, he's going to be Triple H's right-hand guy when all is said and done. So, again, the kids will be all right, as they say. They're in good hands. The kids are in good hands. Like, Pete Dunne, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. It's like, hell yeah. They're really training and getting these guys just people who the sickos would sicko out for. All of the names I just mentioned. And yet they understand this business. And I think they're, the people like Pete Dunne are the right kind of guys. He clearly gets wrestling, but he's never going to be your world heavyweight champion. And that's okay. Not everybody can be that. So, yeah, that's awesome. Moving along here, speaking of main roster, numerous main roster stars are set for upcoming NXT live events. Sheamus, Otis, Lyra Valkyria, JD McDonough, and Grayson Waller are all slated to appear on NXT live events. So they're blowing up that NXT live event scene. And I think the smartest thing WWE can do is do more live. Like if you're NXT, you're grinding like the old main roster used to. Maybe a little lighter of a schedule, but you're going 45 weeks a year. I don't know where the holidays line up and how the math would math on that. But let's say it's like not 52 weeks a year, but like 40 weeks a year. You're fucking grinding. Minimum, like multiple shows. They could get the live show circuit, and then they could send NXTs to like the buttfuck nowheres and like the C towns, like the towns where, and then effectively with NXT, but also a mix of some main roster guys. It's what they were doing already. House shows were always like developing guys you didn't see on TV yet. People touching who were going to touch on TV in like a couple months or whatever. And they were just getting some reps in together. Like those were the matches you'd see, then like a couple of the top stars, depending what market you're in, Some house shows are loaded, like the MSG shows and shit. Those are overloaded, but I think this is a great idea. And this is how you get WWE. You can give the main roster guys some, a bit of a break and leave it as like this big attraction. And then the NXT live events, you get them working, you get them busy, you still get the WWE branding out there. You run promos for Raw and SmackDown. You get people invested more in NXT. It's like the cool hip thing right now. Tucka, 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 tucka. Tucka, tucka, tucka. Ha! I'm cool. I'm hip. And then and then you like callous these kids, you bring them up the right way. NXT's figuring out how to bring everybody up the right way. Speaking of bringing these kids up the right way here. Okay, we have some youngins news here. WWE creative consultant and domestic talent scout Gabe Sapolsky praises Lena Cross, Vicious Vicky, Alex Gracia, Rachel Rose, Vert Vixen, and Izzy Moreno. And Izzy Moreno's like that Izzy kid that was a kid fan in NXT that Bayley would hug all the time. She was like a Bayley super fan. And she's been ID'd. And she's great. If you follow her social media, she knows she gets the game, and she hit the indies. She stays in great shape, and she fucking cuts promos and makes you care about like her matches and stuff. Tries to through social media. She's great. Vert Vixen, I think Tony, like, she was signed. She wasn't signed like all elite to AEW, but she worked there quite a bit, I believe. And in ROH, so interesting. So he praised some of these talent. And speaking of some of these young talent here, the competition is the one fall 6-way to determine the final competitor in the WWE ID Women's Championship elimination match. So Caitlin Marie, Lily Ruiz, Nick CXS, Janie Luck, Jordan Blade, Angelica Risk are all in a match. The winner goes on to be in like another eliminator, I think. And then the winner of that gets the women's title that I think Zeta Steel, or not the Evolve title, the ID. No. So Zeta Steel was the Evolve champion, right? Am I wrong about whatever? Either way, it's the ID women's title. One of those fucking indie belts made for the indie folks. Speaking of indie folks or the youngins, two NIL talent here. An NXT wrestler is announced for the ROW Sherry Martel Classic. So Reality of Wrestling announced the Sherry Martel Classic, or I think this is, I'm not sure if they do this annually or what, but Sherry Martel Classic, Reality of Wrestling, and Tyra May Steele, who won LFG season 1, I believe. She is going to be in the Sherry Martel Classic, and good for her, good for Booker T training these folks. Jasper Troy wins the Speed Championship on WWE NXT, so he is the Speed Champion. That is cool. You know what the funniest thing is? When sickos come into chat or when they respond on X and they're like, where's Speed? It's like, bro, you mean that 15-minute TikTok Twitter show no one cares about? Yeah, where is it? The fuck you talking about? Where's Rampage? That was a whole ass show CM Punk returned to. Doesn't even exist. You fucking dinosaur clown faces. So Jasper Troy wins Speed Championship. That's cool. That's awesome. And shout out NXT doing good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, WWE and Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment buddies announce a long-term strategic partnership there, buddies. I'm the official ambassador, Phil Marks there, buds. I got this written to me here from Doug and Keith here at the Toronto Maple Leafs there, buddy. And as of November 12th, 2025, WWE and Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, one of the world's premier sports and entertainment companies, today announced a new long-term strategic partnership bringing together two iconic global enterprises. The partnership will explore opportunities across multiple areas, including exclusive merchandise, collaborations, original content development, community-focused programs, and regular cross-brand appearances from team players and WWE super-duper stars. Oh, fuck yeah, bud. Good. Where's that Austin Matthews crossover there, buddy? Yeah, good. Good for them and good for Canada. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard. So Chavo Guerrero confirms that he's re-signed, speaking of deals, with WWE, which we already knew here at PWT, expresses excitement over AAA under the WWE umbrella. He says he just re-signed with WWE, so I'm helping out with their AAA show. I'm back with them. AAA is awesome, was always awesome. Lucha Libre, you know, that's where my family originated from. So I have big love of Lucha, and just to see AAA under the WWE umbrella is pretty awesome, pretty cool. It's one thing that we want to keep, the tradition of Lucha Libre, and keep what makes Lucha so amazing. And then you do that with the WWE marketing and the WWE styles. I think the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. And yeah, speaking of sky being the limit, in Zootopia 2. Now, if you guys remember, when we first talked about this, I was like, it's a guy and a girl who are going to star in Zootopia. And then I corrected that on a show, I think Saturday's show. I was like, I was actually wrong about that. I'm going to shut the fuck up about it, you know? And yeah, it's Roman Reigns and Punk. So I was like, yeah, it's the same sex, and I'm a dumbass. Don't listen to me. But they team up as the Zebros. And they're Zebra Buddy Cops in the upcoming Zootopia 2 movie, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. So there, I know Elboo's like, oh, I don't think Roman Reigns will be on screen. I don't know, dude. At War Games, it seems like Roman Reigns might come back up his Zebro here, CM Punk, Zootopia 2. And Zootopia is it was a pretty big movie. People love it. They've waited a while. It's not one where they just knock out bullshit sequels, I don't think. Right? Like some of these animated shows, they just start knocking out fucking sequels and holiday specials and stuff. And that's great, like for the people in them, you know, you make lots of money. But this is a really big deal, and it's awesome that it's Roman and Punk together in a movie voicing Zebros together. So this is a pretty big part. There's some, and The Rock's in this movie as well. And there's some A-list actors in this motherfucker. And this will be a great look for them. And this Zootopia, these are the type of kids movies that have like cultural significance and shit. You know what I mean? Like there's kids who grow up where movies like Shrek and Zootopia and fucking whatever, and they're like, that was my childhood. Oh my God. And they pass it on. So this is a big deal because they'll be approached to reprise their roles whenever they need the Zebros to pop up and whatnot. And yeah, good for them. Let's see if they have chops. They might be Cringe. I can't wait. We're gonna start watching more pro wrestler movies on Patreon. Speaking of sports, though, we talked about WWE crossing over with some sports. Jey Uso appeared in Chelsea FC's The Magic of Blue Christmas advert. These always get me sniped. Wait a bit, though. Whenever it's like, oh, Dominic Mysterio with the Padres and shit, and I play the commercial, they always snipe me.
Early? Oh, someone's getting spoiled. We had to.
It's a first shirt.
Oh, you never forget your first shirt. That's why I was going to be the next Wonder Kid.
The boys call. Evening is night. Hurry to my blue heaven. Room for a little one? You ready to show the boys how it's done? Always. There's a little white. Santa's proper Charles Enzo. He will wear that. You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace.
You never know what goes inside her head.
Yeah, where's Jey Uso? Let's see. I'm gonna get sniped for this whole thing. Did we get swerved? Where the fuck is Jey Uso? Or did I miss him? I was looking away maybe at the blood in the guts. Whatever. Fuck it. I didn't even see him. Yeah, and the voice acting thing is good for like, guys, imagine like, Roman Reigns. What if he fucking got paralyzed in the ring, God forbid? What if one of these guys, like you could get hit by a bus? You don't fucking know. You could be like changing the Christmas lights and Cody Rhodes could fall off a ladder and fuck himself up to where it's like, okay, well, you have voice acting. Like that's something you can fall back on even. Like it's a... And then there's a way of going about it too. You can lend your brand to Fortnite, and you can become the guy who like is known for voicing voicing different characters in A-list games and shit. So there's so many different like there's so many different avenues that can come from doing voice acting shit, especially if you're like trying to have a voice that everyone can instantly identify. Like when John Cena starts talking, you instantly identify his voice, you know? And those kid movies, man, that's how you establish that. I'm telling you. Because parents got to take their kids to them, and they all like when names that they know pop up. You know, you're like, oh, I didn't realize, or you're like listening to like a rabbit talk in some animal movie, right? And you're with your niece and nephew, and you're like, oh, is that fucking Conan O'Brien? I love him. And then you wait for the credits, and you're like, that was Conan O'Brien, or whatever, right? It's like the adults like that aspect too, and it could make you iconic, man. So those kids' movies are no joke. But AAA, speaking of no joke, man, and Lucha Libre, we have Octagon versus Javon Evans versus Axiom. And it's an eliminator, and then the winner takes on Laredo Kid or some shit like that. So Octagon Jr., Javon Evans, and Axiom. And that is November 22nd. So some shit like that. I don't know. But SmackDown bounced back, man. And also the ticket sales bounced back as we knew they fucking would. And so SmackDown, they were up from the Halloween episode, a 1.141 million. And it's up 22%, up 30% in the key demo. SmackDown ranked second on cable and third on all of television in the 18 to 49. Year over year, SmackDown was down 7.5% in total viewers. Not even that bad. But the 18 to 49 was down 19%. Okay, so Dave Meltzer's argument to that would be, well, more people stream stuff, Brian. So streaming skews lower or older, pardon me, younger. I'm fucking up here. Younger, lower. What am I talking about? Last year's numbers were ranked using the... Dave's wearing off on me. God damn it. I got to do a show on this guy tomorrow. Last year's numbers were ranked using the old Nielsen panel only system, which is more favorable for wrestling shows. And again, so some of that for both AEW and WWE and TNA and every company may look a little worse than it is because of the old system, but I'm just going by new system. Whatever the current shit is, that's what we go by. I don't care about if old made it look worse or whatever the fuck. But yeah, so SmackDown with a solid bounce back. It's fall. It's always like this. It's going to, I mean, around Mania season, it's going to pick up like crazy again. The ebbs and flows of, you know, being the A-list pro wrestling company with no competitors in sight. Speaking of which, I mean, look at this live event here. The Holiday Tour Live, December 28th. They're set up for about 7,000 rounding high. They've sold over 3,500 tickets. I mean, this thing well over a month away, halfway to the sellout for the setup sellout, whatever the fuck. And we will see if that sells out or not. We'll keep eyes on the Holiday Tour, I guess. But I mean, if you're doing 6,000 tickets for house shows, it doesn't matter where you are. That's insane. Speaking of insane, man. So there again, SmackDown, everybody, oh, the tarps and their doom and gloom, the attendance. Even me, I mean, I make some videos. WWE gouging and shit like that. You gotta, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? And because I'm fair. I know sickos and like making fun of AEW and like goofy random sickos melting down online gets more clicks, but like one day it's not going to be cool to make fun of AEW. It's going to be such a joke that it's like, well, whatever, it's AEW. It's not even fun. And then like, I know that I fucking played it straight and I was still clipping and making videos about like, is WWE fucking up? You know what I mean? I'm telling you that. I'm playing the long game here, folks. But they've sold about 9,000 tickets. They're set up for 11,300. Like, come on, SmackDown, what's up? Bouncing right back. It's all good. Everybody calm down. Worry about AEW or whatever your favorite wrestling company is that you're comparing to the Fed. Don't fucking worry about the Fed right now. They're crushing. Speaking of crushing, WWE has revealed the top selling wrestlers of 2025 on WWE Shop. So Alexa Bliss, what? And for the people who are like, I don't get Alexa Bliss and she's the shits. There's a lot of people who don't like her. That's why she's that's why she's with Charlotte as one of the tag champs. AJ Lee, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, John Cena, Penta, Rhea Ripley, and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. They're the top selling superstars of 2025, folks, and that was WWF News. Okay, so this blood and guts match, shittier than the girls is. I just maybe am really sick. Like, I really like Tekla and some of those ladies that were in this match, and I want to see more of them. Whereas, like, Garcia and, like, even Pac and fucking Mox. Like, I know Pac's been away for a while, but, like, I just couldn't care less anymore. They've done everything. Even the crowd, they're dead quiet compared to earlier in the show. You know, I like seeing Joe. I like seeing fucking... Even seeing Luchasaurus and shit was nice again. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of a Luchasaurus mark. He's got a lame-ass name, but Killswitch wasn't any better. He's kind of worked himself into, like, you're just Luchasaurus, you know? But here we go, Mark Briscoe. Yeah, we have some more. I think we can do a sicko segment if there's time. Kenneth Douglas has been a member for 8 good goddamn months.
Acknowledge me.
Guys, you can super chat in, hit like, hit subscribe. If you want to support, you can hit like, subscribe, retweet, heart, or whatever. Share it around. Make sure more eyeballs see these shows. Tomorrow, Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. Okay, 8 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. You guys can gift memberships. I do bonus shows every week. Patreon as well. And yeah, Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week, my new podcast, and it's in audio form too. And check that out tomorrow night. Is Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week live on YouTube. So make sure you guys tune in here. Patreon /ProWrestleTimes as well. And I have some Tough Enoughs dropping on there, and a new show is going to be exclusively on Patreon. It'll be a show that goes like, yeah, it'll be fun. You guys will see. I'm just going to drop an episode and then I'll post it and you guys will see. And I'll promote it and shit. But Patreon's heating up, so make sure you guys get over there. And then also, like, the member shows and anything that gets sniped up on YouTube, on Patreon, that shit never, ever, you know, gets blocked or anything like that. You know, we were watching Shark Tank on the last member show. It was so fun. We were watching, like, pro wrestlers on Shark Tank, like DDP, North Pro Wrestling and stuff. It was awesome. And then we had a Remembrance Day Rumble, but some of those clips get sniped. So it's like, because YouTube's, and then they'll just outright block the video. So if it doesn't get monetized, I don't give a fuck about that. It's the member show. And it's like, whatever. I do that for you guys who buy memberships, whatever. You know, it's not monetized. Oh, well, I'll take that one. But when it blocks it, I have to clip it out because I need you guys to be able to see the member show. So that shit never happens on Patreon, okay? Just so you guys know, every episode of everything is like uncensored and in full on Patreon. And those are my fill the shills here for a great show. Thank you. Well over 300 watching tonight across X and YouTube. You guys fucking rule. Love the PWT universe. They're great. They're huge. They're huge. Lucy Moody has been a member for 13 months.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you so much for your memberships and contributions to the show. I appreciate you all so much. So they're going to do a crazy stunt. I got a feeling we're like 10 minutes out, maybe 15 from the show being done. So the crazy stunts are about to happen. Yeah, it's getting late as fuck, too. We might have to sicko Saturday it. Chat will let me know what you guys want. If you want it tonight, so tell me what you want, what you really, really want. We can, but... This is the sicko fucking Saturday. Right here. This might be sicko Saturday right here at Blood and Guts, dude. I don't know. I like the girls match better. Maybe I'm just burnt out. Like, yeah, we already seen a bunch of shit. And then brawls backstage, falls count anywhere. Tonight was just too much thrown at me. I'm glad they put the girls on first, because if the girls went on last, I would be like, fuck, I'm just bored of this shit, you know? Like, and that's what I did want. That's what I was hoping to see them do well. And they did good until Monet and Shafir came and fucked it all up because they're marks for themselves. So they have that cage reinforced on the roof, which is nice to see, I suppose. It's not like Yuta's heavy enough to fall through that fucking thing. Was Monet that bad? Yes. Her and Marina Shafir being fucking marks for themselves ruined that War Games match for the women. They were good. It was really good until Monet came in, and then Marina came in shortly after, maybe right after, and they both just did the goofiest shit, and then it just got goofy. It just got fucking stupid and then went too long. They didn't need 6 women in that match. They could have just left Monet out of it. And then they're pulling these chairs up the fucking cage. Yeah, they're wedged in the cage. That's something you gotta rehearse. Like, fuck beings, man. Oh, God. Please don't die. Please don't die. And Tony Storm. Yeah, hey, LK, people are getting sick of Tony Storm. I think the timeless character, the evolution of that has to be her becoming just her classic Tony Storm, not like the one from WWE, but like the timeless character in the black and white. But it's like that character, but she's beloved and look at me and blah, blah, blah. And she's like above a title. But instead she's going like sicko. Now I'm the Joker. I'm in my Heath Ledger arc. Like, no, now it's just going the wrong direction, you know? Like her going a little nutty was okay. And her thinking she's acting these different roles, okay, that makes sense. But then like draw that out a bit and then you fully come back to like the black and white, but you can just see the red lipstick. But she's like beloved now instead of hated. She's not like, I don't know. That would be the way to. Because even though the sickos were fucking cheering for her, she was like doing heel shit. The final commercial break after a dude just got glommed in the head and there's 2 guys on top of a cell. Monet, do you hear how she says her name in the commercial? Monet? Yeah, the glass on the hand spot. Yeah, that was some bullshit. So, yeah, I won't discount that. Tony Storm, current Tony Storm, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. 6 out of 10. Yeah, I agree with that. Men's match is like a 3 out of 10. I agree. You're like spot on with those ratings. I totally. Chat's ruling tonight. Chat's spitting tonight. What can I say? They buried stat. Yeah, dude. RWL Rapid Wolverine LC Killer 17 says man's blood game match sucks. -3 stars. Yeah, exactly. Even in the Tokyo Dome, that's like a -3. Where's Mel?
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, this match. I mean, this match. I mean, Wheeler, Utah. Kenneth Douglas for 5 says you think you are gonna do blood and guts. Oh no, it's Mercedes. You think you are gonna do a blood and guts match without Amia? Without Amia? See, the thing with Monet, there's one thing about her that makes my impression elite that I don't fucking stooge. That doesn't work for me, brother, sister. That's fucking rules, dude. Thank you for that. I thought you were doing Dave. That's why he's such a salty mark. She stole his gimmick. Kenneth Douglas, thank you so much for your support. But it's true, though. Like, why'd she have to be in it? She almost didn't even need to be in it. I acknowledge you guys for your support. Hell yeah, I'm in the Christmas spirit chat. I can't wait to do my Christmas show, my end of the year predictions, my Hall of Fame as well. Year 3 of who we put in the Hall of Fame. You guys, of course, get to vote who will win. Or I can't remember. Did I do a vote last year or did I just pick? I can't remember what I did. I have to go back. I have it all written. It's in a Google Doc. Don't worry. It's only been a year, goddammit. This year kind of flew by, though, no? But yeah, I can't wait to do the end of the year Christmas PWT show. And we'll do predictions, awards again. Minus 20 flutes. You never studied the business. Blood and nuts and butts. Who's not bleeding? Even I'm bleeding. This fucking match. So they're going to stay with this as long as it takes. So it's already the 2.5 hours in 2 minutes. So this thing's going like 2:45. I told you guys. I told y'all. And for everybody who's like, they won't give Dynamite a 3rd hour, they fucking will. They do it all the time. They will. Because it's just about like the live aspect of it. Oh, pile driver on the top, the butterfly driver. It looks like there's padding on the roof, though. I just don't see this show being on being on TNT or TBS much longer. I got to be honest. Like 2027, it's... Danielson, it's so wild. I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, it sounds so wild. The crowd doesn't give a fuck. And you all sound bored. Didn't we vote on a few things last year? I know the year before we did, Lincoln. Let me figure it out. So, like, yeah, I'll run polls on Twitter, Discord. I'll run them on X, Discord, and YouTube. Okay? And I'll figure out a way to, like, I think what I did was I have the final say. Like, my vote, if I want to say, no, you're all fucking wrong, this is who goes in, then that's who goes in. But I also, Gabe Kidd, Jesus Christ. But I also, like, don't just do that. I won't just, like, usurp people. But then I let you guys vote, and that's who... It, like, I think your guys' votes narrowed down, like, who my selection was or whatever the fuck. But either way, yeah, I'll put up some polls. I'll at least take into consideration what the fuck you guys are voting on for it. Okay? And then I'll make the ultimate choice is just how it'll go, I think. And then we'll remember the last 2 years as well. We'll go over who won the last 2 years. And then... we'll also do predictions for 2026 because I told you guys there would be the mass AEW exodus. I was right about that. I said TNA was going to do 8K for a pay-per-view. Well, they did that. I don't know if they can routinely do that, but I was on about that. I talked about it's going to be a hot lucha summer. I don't know if that was like end of the year predictions. That might have been a little after the holiday show that I was talking about, hey man, if I was Penta and Phoenix, I'd want to get the fuck to WWE. Like, it's about to be a hot lucha summer. And then the AAA shit went down. I was on point about that. I also said that 27 was going to be a crazy year. Yeah, so we'll see. I think I was spot on with most of those predictions. I also said New Japan would start distancing from AEW, and they will make some sort of announcement saying, "Hey, we're not not partnering with AEW, but like we're open to working with other people." Well, the news that just came out, they were open to working with Shinsuke allegedly, apparently, and their USA show, New Japan isn't hyping up AEW as being a part of it. And they're kind of keeping that distant again. And that's why Tony's just poaching Gabe Kidd here again to try and stick it to him. No, but all I'm saying is like, okay, they didn't formally make an announcement, but I was pretty spot on. Like that's pretty close toe in the line. If you don't want to give me that point, that's fine, but that's pretty close. Like if maybe start of next year, like mid next year, we get that prediction come true. But yo, Pac's a beast though. Little Pac, just fucking gorilla pressing dude. And then Darby's on fire. No extinguishers because they're fucking marks. And if a piece of fire flew on a little kid, what would they have done? But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for my predictions at the end of this year to see if I'm like pretty much batting 1,000 again, you know? That was fucking stupid, yeah. And it's because this is why it's extra dumb. Because Darby's not that big of a person. So his body, and then you don't need to spray it to get that much flame. You don't need to spread it as wide as you did. Now it is just lighter fluid. Like, come on, man. We've all played around with fucking lighter fluid and lit shit on fire, and when we're kids, stupid kids. We've all been there. We've all done that. But it's like, so we know, like, okay, but that could be dangerous. But it's like, that's not okay. It's gonna fizzle out soon, unless it caught his pants like it did there, which he rolled and matted himself out. It's just garbage, though. This is just more garbage. I told you guys, he's gonna pull a pigeon out of his ass or something. Like they're just gonna do some stupid shit. I told you guys, the joke I made was Darby's gonna fucking put a lit cigarette in his dick hole or something, right? He burnt himself another way, I guess. Thomas Moore for 2 says Mercedes Monea for lifetime achievement award. Achievement award. Sometimes in life you gotta be a hoe. Thank you, Thomas. People get mad, like you guys love it on the live, and then when the clips go up, people are like, "Fucking, that's annoying, that Monet voice and shit." It's like, well, that's kind of the point, a little bit, you know. None of the tables can break because all these people are fucking featherweights. The announcers are telegraphing Mox is going to submit. Yeah, they're the worst. Excalibur and Shivani are the fucking worst. I'm sorry. These fucking tables won't break, man. What a Bush League. What in the Bush League amateur hour is this? Oh my God. Just make a fucking cruiserweight division. So Kyle O'Reilly to the ankle lock. So this is all to get Kyle O'Reilly over, who's talking about he might need like Oh my god. And all to get O'Reilly over, who we fucking just covered on AEW Unrestricted, is like, you know, I don't even know like how long I'm gonna do this type shit, and like, you know, it's good to know I can have time with my kids and all this shit, and they just do all this to get him over. Damn, dude. AEW. Okay, so the women's Blood and Guts was awesome until Monea and Shafir got in the match. Then it just got fucking stupid and dumb and shitty. And then it went too long. And then the brawl backstage was ass because everything tonight is fucking 12 people brawling. And then Hangman versus Hobbs was false count anywhere. And then even the Ricky Steamboat thing was like a bunch of fucking people brawling in the ring. Why is this all they have? Why is this all they do? I'll never understand it, man. Yeah, that men's Blood and Guts, I couldn't, none of it. It just was the same shit. We've seen this same type of thing a million times, and it's just them hitting their shitty moves in a cage with blood. There was no heat to any of this. No one cares if the Death Riders lose. They've been losing, and nothing changes. Every fucking show they lose, nothing changes. They still just do 100 runouts. They still pull people out of the cage and throw them on beds of nails. Nothing changes ever. So why should we give a shit? Why do we care about the outcome? We fucking don't. Nothing's going to change. Moxley is just, and okay, oh, now the Death Riders are going to kick Moxley out because he's tapped a couple times. That sucks. That sucks if this is what you've built to. Kyle O'Reilly was just on AEW's fucking podcast talking about he likes his family time and all this shit. Like, so it was all to get him over. I don't understand who got more over from this. Moxley's been on a losing streak. They left the cage so Darby could just flip onto fire like a mark, and it did nothing for nobody. Didn't get anyone over. Didn't make Pac look any more or less ruthless. Doesn't matter because Darby does dumb shit all the time, so none of it really matters. I just really don't understand. I mean, this was a cool little like PLE event, I'm not going to lie. But you can't have everyone brawling backstage and then Ricky Steamboat and FTR brawling with everyone, and then fucking the Falls Count Anywhere match is a Falls Count Anywhere match, and then War Games and War Games all on one show. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of just like a bunch of shit happening. The women stole it up until Monet and Shafir, being marks for themselves, came in and marked out for themselves. Monet comes in the cage, and then she just leaves the cage and then starts bringing titles in, schmozzing it up with gimmicky bullshit. And then fucking Marina comes in, and instead of coming right into the ring, she fucking she drags Statlander out, throws her on a bed of nails, comes in, botches a 619 head scissors thing that the camera people, the high schoolers that they fucking rented for the evening to film that show, who are traumatized now, fucking they didn't pick up on. And then the match went to shit. Tony Storm as well with the dipping the hands in the glass. And then what was the finish? This is what I mean. Like, you're going through all this stuff, stepping in glass and being slammed, and then a fucking ankle lock. You tap out to an ankle lock. It's just garbage, man. So then why did Darby fly through the fucking tables on fire? Just so Marks could go, oh, that's insane. Just go so Darby could go, oh, and that time I flipped through the fiery tables, man. Who grabbed my gun? I'm emo. I'm emo. Lincoln Hawk for 2 says they have no intention of growing their fan base. Yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked. Like fucking
The best
Darby's
guys, Tony
dead.
Khan.
It's fucking cooked, dude. It's done. And I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate AEW like Jerry the King Lawler hated ECW. That's an amazing comment. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. It's late. Let's all go to bed. Let's try and digest this. I'll leave you guys with some Jericho. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, my newest podcast. It's wherever audio is, but it's also live on YouTube first. So make sure you catch the live version tomorrow. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out patreon.com/prowrestletimes. I implore you. Thank you all for being here. Round of applause. Thanks for hanging out. Shitloads of news, too. We didn't just watch Blood and Guts. Make sure you guys go watch the replay of this, okay? And thank you for all the subs, all the super chats, all the memberships. You guys fucking rule. I appreciate you. Yeah, so let's all get to rest. East Coast, it's like around midnight or what? In the UK, we got people. What time is it around? I don't even know. I love you guys. Thanks for being here tonight. Another amazing episode of PWT. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week tomorrow. I've been Phil Marks, and I'll see you in the Upside Down. Stranger Things, Season 5, coming soon. Couple of weeks, 14 days, 2 weeks to be exact. On the nose, see you in the Upside Down. Fucking Max got away from Vecna. Spoilers. Eddie just went into the Upside Down. Fucking Steve's getting eaten up by Demogorgon bats. Love you guys. See you in the Upside Down. Peace.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Damn it.